Our thanks go to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Funding partner, UK Sport. Official partner, Tier. Official suppliers, Lumi. SOS Group. Endorsed product, Sports Systems. Host city, marketing Sheffield and Sheffield International venues.
Ladies and gentlemen, is, are you ready? Decent, but it's the final day of action, ladies and gentlemen. Last time I'm going to ask you this week. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? That's more like it. So without further ado then, let's kick off the morning session with the men's 200 metre freestyle heats, starting off with heat 1.
Take your mark.
This is the first of 11 heats then in the men's 200 metre freestyle. And in the pool here, in lane 3 from City of Leicester is Kieran Bott. In 4 from Worcester is William Geary. And in 5 from Derwent side is Lewis Maxwell. Well supported as ever. Very even start between these three. And as we anticipated as well, just 0.17 seconds separating the three of them. As we come up towards the halfway point, the margin's very fine indeed. William Geary, though, the one leading the way. Split time just under a minute, 59.99. Encouraging stuff this for William Geary in lane 4, Lewis Maxwell in 5 and Kieran Bott in 3. Very level indeed this moment in time. All these swimmers in the 13-14 age category as well, of course. As I'm sure you're well aware by now, there are 5 age category finals for each of the events that we see this morning. So in some of the later heats, swimmers aren't necessarily directly swimming against each other for the same places in the same finals. However, in the first 2 heats of this morning's session, all the swimmers will be in the 13-14 year arguments. Kieran Bott, our City of Leicester, then in lane 3, has himself in front with 25 metres to go. William Geary has dropped into third at this moment in time, which has allowed Lewis Maxwell to progress a little bit further into second spot. It looks like this will be a two-horse race coming in towards the wall here between the white caps. Lewis Maxwell in 5 and Kieran Bott in 3. Into the wall they come. And Lewis Maxwell, with an inspired final 25 metres there, manages to get there by 0.11 seconds. Ahead of Kieran Bott, William Geary in third. Confirmation up on the scoreboard, and we can swiftly move on to our second heat, Heat 2. Much fuller pool this time around then. Lane 0 from Leicester Penguins is Joey Tippin. In 1 from City of Leeds is Akal Rehal. In 2, representing Nova Centurion, is Dominic Bulls. In 3, from Sutton Cheam, is Spencer Creemore. In 4, from Ealing, is Billy Lee Knowles. Harrison Barber of Biddulph is in 5. In 6, from Ealing, is Pietro Lombardo. In lane 7, from Stockport Metro, is Joseph Dayan. And in 8, from Scunthorpe, is Kieran Summers. Up we go then, towards the halfway point. In the way, from Sutton Keene, is Spencer Creemore. 59.6 is split time, the only one south of a minute there. Signs looking good for him so far, but of course we saw in the last heat just how quickly things can change, even right up to the final 20 metres or so. Up there as well, in lane 5, is Harrison Barber of Biddulph. We would expect Billy Lee Knowles to push on a bit stronger as well. The Ealing swimmer in lane 4, quickest seed in this heat of 2:03.78. Once again, though, very close between all these swimmers in terms of their entry times, and of course, they are all in the 13-14 year category as well. Not many in that age group to come after this, after the third heat. The next heat littered once again with 13-14 year olds. So these swimmers trying to set the benchmark in this age category are doing exactly that. There's Spencer Creemore in 3 and Harrison Barber in lane 5. Good swim as well from Kieran Summers, but into the wall they come. Spencer Creemore out on top, 2:04.08. In second spot is Harrison Barber. And Joey Tippin there completes the fastest trio, the Leicester Penguins swimmer. Confirmation once again of the scores on the scoreboard. Up next, heat 3.
Take your mark.
Full pool this time around then. Lane 0 from Skipton is Ned Sharp. In 1 from Romford Town, Lewis Binning. Then 2 from Barnet Copthall is Archie Price. In 3 from Northampton is Edward Mildred. Lane 4 from Stratford Sharks is Thomas Beamer. Lane 5 is Cockermouth's Piers Greening. In 6, Jason Robson from York City. Lane 7 from City of Lincoln is Matthew Broughton. In 8 from Sedgefield is Niall Coulthard. And in 9 from Inverleith is Angus Allison. Another tight run thing at the halfway point of this one. Slightly leading the way though in lane 3. It's Edward Mildred of Northampton. We've certainly heard his name quite a lot this week in the pool in that 13-14 year category. At the moment, is doing a strong job once again on the final day of action here. He'll turn for the final 50 metres, leading the way. Currently in second spot is Jason Robson of York City in lane 6. Lewis Spinning in lane 1. He was in front at the halfway point. He's currently knocking around those sort of positions as well, as is Archie Price in lane 2. There's a big dash on here going into the final 25 metres now. There's a line of around 5 or 6 swimmers here, hunting in a pack behind Edward Mildred, but it looks as if the Northampton swimmer will have too much for the rest of the pool. It's all going to be about those times. Very close behind him. He comes in first, 2:0.61. Looks good, better than his entry time, that is for sure. Thomas Beamer in second spot on 2:02.67, and in third, Niall Coulthard of Sedgefield, 2:02.83 his time. Let's move on now to heat 4. Off and underway. Once again, full complement in the pool. Lane 0 from Winchester is Pietro Falconi. In 1 from Royal Wolverhampton is Daniel Johnson. In 2 from Newcastle is Kieran Thomas. Lane 3 from City of Lincoln is Dara Clark. In 4 from Beckenham, Finlay Maxwell. In 5 from East Kilbride is Keir Buchanan. In 6 from City of Peterborough is Herbie Kinder. In 7 from North Ayrshire is Rory Dixon. Sevenoaks' Ellie Stanhope is in lane 8, and in 9 from City of Sheffield is Samuel Sally. Well, it's all about the red caps at the halfway point. Dara Clark in lane 3 and Ellie Stanhope in lane 8. They are your front two after 100 metres. The beginning to arrive on the scene in lane 1 is Daniel Johnson of Royal Wolverhampton, and also in 3 as well. Oh, sorry, 4 should I say, Finlay Maxwell. Oh, Beckenham. Dara Clark in 3 is still the one out in front. Ellie Stanhope managing to maintain his swift early pace as well as we're coming towards the final 50 metres. The turn will be made first by Dara Clark. Daniel Johnson has wedged his way into second spot in lane 1. Vast majority of these swimmers in the 15-year category. The one exception is Pietro Falconi in lane 0, trying to pit his wits against those in the category above. It's a straight shootout this between around 4 or 5 swimmers going into the final 20 metres. On the far side as well, Samuel Sally of City of Sheffield has overtaken Ellie Stanhope here. I don't think he'll get the fastest time though. In towards the wall they come. That will be boasted by Finlay Maxwell of Beckenham, 1:59.42. A couple of times there under 2 minutes. Daniel Johnson and Samuel Sally both managing to get south of 2 minutes as well, in third and second respectively. Up next, heat 5.
Take your mark.
0 from Thanet Swim, Alexander Boyd. And 1 from Plymouth Leander is Jack Plummer. Lane 2 from Swansea Aquatics is Jack Llewellyn. Now lane 3 in this heat. Only 4 from Hatfield, Max Jelfs. In lane 5 from Plymouth Leander is Reed Jones. 6 for Wickham District is Piers Bowden. Lane 7 from Nova Centurion is Joshua Harris. Lane 8 from Chelsea and Westminster is Alex Rosen. Lane 9 from Devonport is Harry Noble. Good start being made in 0 by Thanet Swim's Alexander Boyd. And coming up towards the halfway point, also up there is Joshua Harris in lane 7 of Nova Centurion. But it is Alexander Boyd on the near side that is the one currently leading the way. Max Jelfs in lane 4 of Hatfield though. He's beginning to try and stake a claim for the fastest time in this heat. He certainly seeded the fastest to 0.29. He'll be looking to join a few swimmers that we saw in the last heat, getting a time that is under 2 minutes. Definitely achievable for that Hatfield swimmer, but it's not all going his own way with 50 metres to go. A lot of competition coming on the far side, and still via Alexander Boyd as well in lane 0. Piers Bowden doing very well in lane 6 of Wickham District. Great support coming in for Harry Noble as well as ever from his coaches from Devonport. He's in lane number 9 and he's really up there in contention here, coming towards the dying embers of this heat. Into the final 10 metres or so. 3-horse race at the front. Harry Noble in 9, Max Jelsin 4. Alexander Boyd slightly dropping off a bit in lane 0. In towards the wall they come, and Harry Noble from the outside lane, being the outside smoker of the morning so far. 1:58.36, he gets the fastest time. Max Jels has to settle for second, and Joshua Harris gets there just ahead of Alexander Boyd into third. Halfway points to pass now as we go on to heat 6.
Take your mark.
Once again, all lanes taken apart from 3. Lane 0 from West Lothian is Daniel Ferguson. In 1 from Aberdeen is Fraser Agnew. In 2 from Derwentsside is Daniel Morley. 3 is vacant. In 4 from City of Sheffield is Eugene Brooks-Clark. In 5 from Team Ipswich is Thomas Clare. Lane 6 from City of Cambridge is Jake Moxon. In 7 from Hatfield is Toby Laguda. 8 from Plymouth Leander is Ethan Raymond, and Keo Tanner of Ellesmere College Titans goes in lane number 9. Well, inspired by Harry Noble's performance in the last heat, going out on top of the halfway point in the outside lane. This time on the near side is Daniel Ferguson of West Lothian in lane 0. They're around a length lead ahead of second and third, who are Fraser Agnew and Daniel Morley in lanes 1 and 2. Decent start as well being made by Thomas Clare in lane 5 of Team Ipswich, with Ethan Raymond of Plymouth Leander knocking around those front 3 or 4 positions as well in lane number 8. They make the turn though for the final 50 metres, and on the split times it is still Daniel Ferguson in lane 0 who is the man to beat, and you can quite clearly see it as well. He's definitely took this one by the scruff of the neck, not wasting any time at all. Daniel Ferguson out like a flash, and he's managed to maintain that pace as well going into the dying embers of this one. Will anybody catch him? That of course is the important question here. These swimmers mixed in the 15-year and the 16-year category, so not directly competing for places in the same finals, but still nonetheless Daniel Ferguson beating them all with 1:57.2. Inspired stuff from him, with Thomas Clare touching in second for Team Ipswich and Daniel Morley into third. Up next, heat 7.
Take your mark.
Back to a force of 10 we go. In lane 0 from City of Oxford is Daniel Jenkins. 1 from Swansea Aquatics is Joshua Loney. Adam Wilson, Newcastle goes in lane 2. In 3 from Northampton is Billy Pettit. In 4 from Royal Wolverhampton, Matthew Richards. Charlie Poole of City of Leicester goes in 5. In 6, completing a double dose of Northampton swimmers, is Archie Plowman. Scott Probin of City of Salford goes in 7. In 8 from City of Newport is Cameron Clark. And Millfield's Hugh Williams goes in lane number 9. Some good heats so far, definitely boding well for the finals tonight. And we're only just over the halfway point. Lane 3, Billy Pettit of Northampton. It's been a good week for the Northampton swimmers. He's currently leading the charge in the pool as well here in heat number 7. Just on his inside, Matthew Richards of Royal Wolverhampton trying to get stronger with every stroke, but it's certainly easier said than done, especially with Charlie Poole of City of Leicester in lane 5 up alongside him. Also going well is Adam Wilson in lane 2 of Newcastle. And on the near side, Daniel Jenkins of City of Oxford making a super turn off the wall there for the final 50. He is not too far out of contention either. So in we go then towards the final 15 metres or so. Billy Pettit still the man to beat in the blue cap. In he comes towards the wall. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Very close indeed, but first a formality with Billy Pettit in first on 156.48. In second, Charlie Poole of City of Leicester. And in third, Daniel Jenkins of City of Oxford. Confirmation will be coming up in a few moments' time on the screen. There it is now, as that concludes heat number 7. So we've seen our first 7 heats of the morning then. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us on the hashtag SummerChamps17, and of course also in anticipation for the relays coming up at the back end of this morning's session, the hashtag LoveARelay as well. Some of your entries yesterday were absolutely fantastic. Tweets coming in from Liz saying pesky chicken pox means no swim training for Evelyn, but watching at the Summer Championships is keeping her smiling. Hashtag good luck today. Joe Wilson saying to Finley Maxwell, what a fantastic race and finish. Great swim from Finley for Beckenham. Also Joanna says for Ellis 200 metre free, go smash it Ellis. And Staines also saying good luck to Ross Phillip in the men's 50 butterfly this morning. Tina says, please wish our son Lewis good luck for his 6th day in a row at his first Summer Championships. And also Karen saying, looking forward to seeing another gutsy swim from Rhiannon Bowen in a 100 fly, and scream support for Team Bath Boys Relay Team. Hashtag bring it on. I've seen a few tweets from Karen this week, and she certainly is a bit of a screamer when it comes to Team Bath. Definitely gets behind her team. Of course, they're currently second in the most improved teams as well at this moment in time. So do make sure you keep those tweets coming in. Hashtag SummerChamps17. So just making sure things are all present and correct downstairs before we get off and underway with heat number 8. Of course, this just building up the anticipation for what is to come. Let's mark your card as to what is to come after this. We've got the women's 100 metre breaststroke heats. Then the men are back in the pool with the 200 metre backstroke. After that, the women take over again with the women's 100 metre butterfly. Then we're on to the splash and dash to conclude the individual events of the morning, the men's 50 fly. And then we have our women's and then the men's 4x100 medley relay heats. All to come here on a busy morning of action on the final day of the British Swimming Summer Championships 2017. Up next then is heat number 8.
Take your mark.
In 0 from Hatfield is Rhys Housden. In 1 from City of Cardiff is Owen Evans. In 2 from Aberdeen, Jack Watson. Ryan Retson on first goes in lane 3. In 4 from Planet Swim is Samuel Crabtree. Hector Pardo from Ellesmere College Titans is in 5. In 6 from City of Salford is Matthew George. Lane 7 from City of Peterborough, Miles Robinson-Young. Adam Davies of Plymouth Leander is in 8. And in 9 from Shiverers is Joel Thompson. Well, how about this at the halfway point? Samuel Crabtree of Planet Swim, showing some of the other swimmers that have started today's heats in lane 4 exactly how it is done. Definitely showing why he has the fastest entry time here of 1:54.94. It's not even that far ahead of the second fastest entry time posted by Ryan Retson in lane 3, but you definitely won't believe it if you were watching this race and didn't know what they were like on paper, these swimmers. Wonderful stuff from Samuel Crabtree in the first 150 as he turns for home now. Meanwhile, further back in the field, Matthew George currently in 2nd in 6, and Ryan Retson is in 3rd in lane 3. As the dash is now well and truly on for home. 25 metres to go. Samuel Crabtree slightly being closed down by Ryan Retson just behind him. I don't think it will matter too much though as they come in towards the finish. Final few metres now, all about those times. 1:53.94 for Samuel Crabtree, up as well by bang on a second on the entry time. Ryan Retson in 2nd on 1:55.78. And in 3rd position, Matthew George of City of Salford. Up next then, heat 9.
Take your mark.
Lane 0 from Plymouth Leander is Yestin Cole. In 1 and 2, 2 Loughborough University swimmers, Craig Munden and Fraser Minican respectively. In 3 from University of Stirling is Martin Walton. Lane 4 from Bath University is Jay Elliott. In 5 from Hatfield is Luke Turley. Carl Chisholm of Borough of Kirklees is in 6. In 7 from Loughborough is Caleb Hughes. In 8 from Millfield is James Gilly. And in 9 from City of Derby is William Foster. Much tighter this time around up towards the halfway point, but still the charge being led by lane 4. This time is Jay Elliott of Bath University, split time of 54.07. Entry time of 1:49.06 coming into this. Martin Walton currently right next to him, keeping him company in lane 3 in 2nd. And also up there as well in 6 is Carl Chisholm in the black cap for Borough of Kirklees. So a very interesting few battles unfolding here as they go into the final 50 metres in a moment or two's time. Here we go, off the wall then. Still, your front 3, Jay Elliott, Martin Walton and Carl Chisholm. The order's changed a little bit though. Carl Chisholm has certainly come on strong in the last 50 metres. What can he do in the final set of 50? Also joining in the argument in lane 1 is Craig Munden alongside Fraser Minican as well in lane 2. They may be just ousted out of this towards the last. A late burst as well from Luke Taylor in lane 5 of Hatfield. Also following him up there is James Gilly of Millfield in lane 8. But down the centre is where it's at. Carl Chisholm touching in first on 1:50.66. Second and third separated by 11/100ths of a second. Jay Elliott in 2nd and Martin Walton in 3rd. Confirmation coming up on the scoreboard right now. Let's go on to heat number 10.
Take your mark.
Penultimate heat of these men's 200 metre freestyle. Of these swimmers now in the much older age categories. Mix of 2 in here. We've got 3 18-year-old swimmers. The rest all 19 and over. Lane 0 from Davencio is Ryan Reader. In 1 from Guildford City, Joseph Clark. In 2 is Team Ipswich's Regan Lloyd. Lane 3 from Millfield is Thomas Kingham. In 4 from Bath University is Cameron Curl. Luke Howdell of City of Sheffield goes in 5. In 6 from Bath is Julian Chan Q Lin. In 7 from City of Sheffield, Charlie Humphreys. Thomas Flower of Richmond Dale goes in 8. And in 9 from Royal Wolverhampton is Casey Barrett. Up we go towards the halfway point. The 3 swimmers in the 18-year category, incidentally, are Charlie Humphreys in 7, Thomas Flower in 8, and Casey Barrett in lane 9. So that battle between those 3 on the far side in 7, 8 and 9 will be very interesting indeed. The rest of them all swimming directly against each other for places in tonight's senior final, the 19 years and over, of course. And Cameron Curl is the one who has been very speedy out the traps indeed in the first 150. He's the one leading going into the final turn there as well. In second spot is Luke Howdell in lane 5. Also up there, Regan Lloyd of Team Ipswich in lane 2 as well. Looks like they're going to be the front 3. They're going to be challenging here going into the final 20 metres or so. Spearheaded by Cameron Curl right at the front. No doubt about who's going to take this seat whatsoever. In the wall he comes. The time of 1:49.27, and he can go faster as well. Second spot, Luke Howdell of City of Sheffield, and completing the fastest trio that time around is Regan Lloyd of Team Ipswich. Confirmation of that once again on your screen now. Up next, final heat, number 11.
Take your mark.
Final heat then should be the quickest yet. Lane 0 from Millfield is Kieran Bird. In 1 from Loughborough University is Alexander Bragazzi. In 2 from Hatfield is Harry Constantine. In 3 from University of Stirling, Craig McLean. In 4 is Loughborough's Timothy Shuttleworth. In 5 from London Aquatics is Jarvis Parkinson. In 6 is Millfield's Jacob Goodman. Max Murphy of City of Milton Keynes goes in 7. In 8 from Millfield is Mac Mascuska. And in 9 from City of Leicester is Lewis Kerrod. Very tight between those 3 down the spine of the pool. Lane 3, Craig McLean, Tim Shuttleworth in 4, and Jarvis Parkinson in 5. Jacob Goodman of Millfield just on the periphery as well in lane 6. As they turn at the halfway point, Tim Shuttleworth is the one with the marginal advantage. The favourite not just for this heat, but the whole event as well. Tim Shuttleworth, 1:48.68 his entry time. He is the fastest seed. But that posse of black caps down the centre, looking very threatening indeed at this moment in time. Craig McLean in 3, Jarvis Parkinson in 5 up there as well. And still Jacob Goodman is knocking on the door. And in fact, he's just got in front there on that turn ahead of Jarvis Parkinson. Also trying to get himself in contention for a faster time as possible is Alexander Bragazzi of Loughborough University. These swimmers, of course, in the final heat are the serious challengers for places in the finals tonight. Again, a mix of age categories. Again, some really high standard swimming, led by Tim Shuttleworth. In he comes towards the wall, 1:49.58 sees him take that final heat. Second spot, Craig McLean of University of Stirling. And in 3rd, Jarvis Parkinson ultimately manages to come out on top ahead of Jacob Goodman. A good swim, though, from those in the central 4 lanes. Confirmation of their times up on the scoreboard now in ascending order. Let's swiftly move on then to our next event. It's the women's 100 metre breaststroke heats. We begin with heat 1. Zero from Borough Kirklees is Martha Bradley. 1 from City of Birmingham, Erin Davies. 2 from Southport, Jessica Morgan. In lane 3 from Swim Gwynedd is Kerry-Ann Harries. And 4 from Haverton Waterlooville, Lucy Pears. Alicia Stevenson of City of Birmingham goes in 5. In 6 from Millfield is Isabella Renwick. Lane 7 from Warren de Baths is Katie Goodman. Ellie Fraser of City of Salford goes in 8. And in 9 from Newton Abbott is Flora Perkin. Well, between lanes 0 and 5, it's more or less just a straight line at the moment. Also in 9, going well on the far side, is Flora Perkin of Newton Abbott. Of course, all swimmers on the breaststroke just looking ahead at the wall rather than being too concerned of what is around them, but they will be more than aware. Flora Perkin looks as if she's the one in the lead at the moment. A late charge coming from Alicia Stevenson in lane 5 from City of Birmingham. Also Martha Bradley doing well as well, and they are your front 3. Flora Perkin in first, Alicia Stevenson in second, and Martha Bradley completing the fastest 3 that time around. Very close indeed. Coming in towards the final 25 metres, there's Flora Perkin on the outside lane that takes heat 1. Up next is heat number 2. Off we go then with heat 2 of 10. 0. From Swim Bournemouth is Amy Brown. In 1 from Nelfield Clwyd is Laura Sharp. 2 from East Lothian is Bridget Lamassoria. Olivia Davies of Holywell goes in 3. In 4 from Wigan Best is Charlotte Nesta. Jade Kennerall of Noah Centurion is up in 5. In 6 from Best is Sarah Frizzle. In lane 7 from RTW Monson, Anna Lehman. In 8 from Tyndale is Madeline Duffy. And in 9 from York City is Ella Cohen. Well, just look how disfigured the pool is at the moment. Looks like the swimmers have just been thrown and scattered all over the pool. Coming in towards the wall, lane 7, Anna Lehman of RTW Monson is going to take it. What a strange heat that was, 113.79. Jade Kennerall in second spot for Nova Centurion on 114.81. And in third position, Bridget Lamassoria of East Lothian on 116 on the dot. Where we go next? Well, it's heat number 3. Just a reminder as well, you may have seen this advertised around Ponds Forge today and yesterday evening as well, but parents of 13 to 16-year-old swimmers are invited to a presentation supporting and coaching the age group swimmer by Fred Furness, who of course is the Swim England National Talent Officer. It immediately follows this morning's heats upstairs in the Skyline Suite. I personally recommend it as well. I saw the talk being done in the East region in Norwich, and it was absolutely fantastic from Fred. So do make sure you go along to that if you are a parent of a 13 to 16-year-old swimmer and you want some support and coaching for the age group swimmer by Fred Furness, the Swim England National Talent Officer. And then do make sure you go to the Skyline Suite after this morning's heat, immediately afterwards. And hopefully we'll see you there. Look to the pool once again. A lot of these swimmers are in that age bracket of 13 up to 16. Leading the way in one, Bethan Edwards of Nelfio, and also in lane 5, the June Petriate, Basildon and Phoenix. Up there too is Daria Pomakostic of Maidenhair, but in fact in second is Michaela Stephen. Bethan Edwards takes it, Stephen in second, and the June Petriate completing the fastest trio. Confirmation up on the scoreboard for you now. Let's go on to heat 4. Rapidly making way through the heats here in the women's 100 breast, almost at the halfway point after this heat. Lane 0 from Planet Swim this time around is Beth Williams. In 1 from City of Sheffield is Abigail Miles. In 2 from Chelsea and Westminster is Emily Saminsky. In 3 from Midlothian is Ailey Redpath. Lane 4 from Borough of Kirklees is Avril Bowler. In 5 from Sevenoaks, Madeline Glenn. In 6 from Stockport Metro is Charlotte Hume. In 7 from Flint is Molly Martin. In 8 from City of Cardiff is Katrine John. And in 9 from Nova Centurion is Amy Mead. Can we have a coach or representative please from North Ayrshire and City of Sheffield to the timing suite as soon as possible please. Coach or representative from North Ayrshire and the City of Sheffield to the timing suite. Thank you. But we come then towards the back end of this heat. Good swim from Avril Bowler of Borough of Kirklees, looking very assured indeed there, 1:14.23. Another good heat for the outside lanes as well. This time Beth Williams gets herself into the fastest 3. Third position, Charlotte Hume of Stockport Metro. Next, we go to heat 5. In 0 this time around from West Norfolk is Molly Lee. Lanes 1 and 2 from City of Birmingham are Charlotte Rigg and Elizabeth Kingham respectively. Lane 3 from Maidenhead is Maisie Cousins. In 4 from Street is Chloe Edrich. In 5 from City of Oxford, Natasha Fenton. In 6 from Street, Kaylee Parker. In 7 from South Main, Jasmine Smith. Alicia Gallagher of Taunton Dean goes in 8. And in 9 from Wigan Best is Hannah Sheehan. Of course, doesn't really matter where you finish in these heats. It's all about getting the fast enough time to qualify for your respective age group final. It's always nice, isn't it, though, to finish in the front pack and going in towards the final 25 metres. Currently leading the way in lane number 6 is Kaylee Parker of Street. I would say she's streets ahead of everyone else, and she's getting towards that point as well as we go into the dying embers. Not a million miles ahead of Elizabeth Kingham in lane 2, who will probably finish in second alongside Natasha Fenton. Then they come towards the wall. Kaylee Parker managing to secure first. Second behind as well is Elizabeth Kingham, and in fact it's Charlotte Rigg completing a Birmingham 2-3 there. Up next, heat 6. Lane 0 from Stockport Metro is Olivia Heron. In 1 from West Norfolk, Kira Frosdick. Lane 2 from Guildford City is Amy Hodgson. In 3 from Royal Wolverhampton is Laura Hawkins. Lane 4 from Loughborough University is Lucy Bean. In 5 from City of Manchester Aquatics, Molly Roadhouse. In 6 from Dinnerton is Holly Steer. And your read of first goes in 7. In 8 from City of Lincoln is Bethany Walker. And Layla Black of City of Leeds completes the pool this time around in lane number 9. Lane 0 to 4. Looking very competitive indeed. And once again, the outside lane, this time lane 9. Layla Black of City of Leeds looking very sharp indeed as well. Up towards the front here as we're going towards the nitty-gritty stage of this heat. Lucy Bean in 4 of Loughborough University. Up there near the front 2. Joined by Amy Hodgson in lane 2 of Guildford City. It's going to be tight towards the wall. Layla Black of City of Leeds goes from 7th to 1st there in that 50-metre spell. 1:12.93 the winning time. Amy Hodgson in 2nd of Guildford City. And Lucy B settles for 3rd quickest time and completing the fastest 3. Up next, seat number 7. No lane 0 in this heat, but in 1 from Northampton is Ailsa MacDonald. In 2 from City of Milton Keynes is Ayana Lawson. In 3 from Borough of Kirklees is Keelan Fitton. Maya Hall of Losford Dolphins goes in 4. In 5 from RTW Monson is Jemima Berkeley. In 6 from Heart of Midlothian, Ellie Riley. Amelia Monaghan of City of Peterborough goes in 7. In 8 from East Kilbride, Lucy Ross. And Carissa O'Reilly of City of Leicester goes in number 9. Well, not many swimmers being left behind here at all going into the final 30 metres. All of them looking pretty good so far. A wide variety of age categories here, spanning from 13 to 14, all the way up to 17, 18. So a lot of different permutations regarding this heat. Coming in towards the wall, just peeking ahead in front is Jemima Berkeley of RTW Monson in 5. In 8, a good swim from Lucy Ross as well. Also in 3 from Keelan Fitton. Not in that order, but they are your top 3. Jemima Berkeley in 1st, Keelan Fitton in 2nd, and Lucy Ross completing the fastest 3 that time around. The top 4 all getting times under 1:14. Up next, the 8. Here we go then, just the 2 heats to come after this. This is getting into the really serious stages now of these heats. A lot of the older swimmers taking part in the pool. In 0 from Bournemouth Collegiate is Kayla van der Merwe. In 1 from Edinburgh University is Hayley Monteith. In 2 from City of Peterborough, Rebecca Burton. In 3 and 4 Completing the Edinburgh trio is Catherine Johnston and Corrie Scott, respectively. In 5 from South Ayrshire, Katie Robertson. 6 from Aberdeen is Ola Adams. Representing Loughborough University in 7 is Laura Kinley. In 8 from Bolton Metro is Anna Doughty. And in 9, City of Bristol, Lily Booker. Well, it's fair to say every single heat has been different from the previous one. This one looking like a foregone conclusion at the front, with Corrie Scott going down the centre of Edinburgh University. This one definitely going to form here. Second also should be Catherine Johnston. Should be an Edinburgh 1-2. Indeed is. 108.52, the winning time for Corrie Scott. Catherine Johnston in second. And it is an all-Scottish top 3 with Katie Robertson touching in third. Up next, penultimate heat, heat number 9. Lane 0 for Thanet Swim is Rosanna Arnold. In 1 from City of Newport, Carice Coley. In 2 from Loughborough University is Grace Gilroy. Alongside her teammate Megan Morrison in lane 3. In 4 from Stockport Metro, Katie Matz. Edinburgh University's Cara Hanlon goes in 5. In 6, Bethan Sloan from City of Cardiff. In lane 7 from Guildford City is Tatiana Bolonagov. In 8 from City of Oxford, Emily Wood. And in 9 from Derwentside is Danielle Gilbert. It's the final 30 metres, this one. A lot tighter than the previous heat. Down the centre, we look at Katie Matz in 4 and Cara Hanlon in 5. Nothing really separating those two at this moment in time. Also getting quicker in 2 is Grace Gilroy of Loughborough University as well. And a late flurry from Bethan Sloan in lane 6 and Tatiana Bolonagov in 7. Up towards the wall they come, very close indeed between the front 5 and 6. Cara Hanlon leading the way though, 110.63. 400ths of a second ahead of Katie Matz. And in third is Grace Gilroy of Loughborough University. Confirmation up on the screen. Let's go to our final heat, heat number 10. Lane 0 from Chelsea and Westminster, Georgina Hain in 1 from City of Sunderland, Rachel Taylor. Amy Bell of City of Sheffield is in 2. In 3 from RTW Monson is Annabelle Guy-Johnson. 4 and 5, the Loughborough duo of Imogen Clark and Beth Aitchison respectively. Lane 6 from West Suffolk is Anna Evans. In 7 from Derwentside is Rachel Wilson. In 8 from Preston is Emily Lawrence. And in 9 from Guildford City is Sarah Tripp. This is the battle we expected coming in towards this heat. Imogen Clark and Beth Aitchison at it, hammer and tong down the centre of the pool. Both in different categories. Imogen Clark in the 17-18 year group, Beth Aitchison in the 19 years and over. But not much separating them when it comes to this swim here. Into the wall they come with Beth Aitchison just leading the way marginally by 0.17 seconds. Annabelle Guy-Johnson is in third position with a Loughborough 1-2 that time around, completing the heats for that women's 100-metre breaststroke. And while those fiddly backstroke ledgers are put into place, let's have a look across to Twitter once again. Hashtag SummerChamp17. Joe Wilson says congratulations in making the finals of the 200 metre. And going in 5th place. Smash it, that one for Finley Maxwell. Also Bracknell saying congratulations to Tyler for his double dose of bronze medals. DP saying good luck to Tom Adams in the 50 fly and Isabel Spinley in the 100 fly as well this morning. Hashtag swim strong. And Julian saying he's back in action this morning with Rory Huggins, Austin SJ and Lucy P all in action for Havant and Waterlooville in the 50 fly and 100 breast. Up next though, it's all about the backstroke. The men's 200 metre backstroke heats. Heat 1 is where we begin.
Take your mark.
A reminder once again about the talk by Fred Furness from Swim England, the National Talent Officer, coming up after this morning's heat in the Skyline Suite. It's for those swimmers that are, those parents that are parents to 13 to 16-year-old swimmers. And the presentation is regarding supporting and coaching the age group swimmer. As I say, Fred Furness, very experienced with those sort of talks, will be in the Skyline Suite at the end of the morning heats. And I thoroughly recommend that you attend. Let's have a look to the heats then for this men's 200 metre backstroke. In the pool here, lane 0 from East Lothian is Sean Craigmile. In 3 from Winchester is Marcus Scullion. In 4 from Guildford City is Toby Stewart. In lane 5 from Cleethorpes is Oliver Bradley. And in 6 from Nova Centurion is Joshua Skinner. Pretty disfigured formation at the moment, leading the way. In 3 is Marcus Scullion of Winchester. Good extension time though in this heat, posted by Toby Stewart of Guildford City. That was 2:19.59. Less than a second though separating these 5 when it comes to those entry times. It's not extremely close between all 5 of them at the moment though on the turn, with Marcus Scullion still leading the way. Toby Stewart in 4 in 2nd, and Shane Craigmile currently in 3rd position. Swimmers in 5 and 6, Oliver Bradley and Joshua Skinner respectively, slightly dropping off the pace required to keep up with the leader Marcus Scullion as they come in towards the final 50 metres or so now. First 2 heats, all concerning 13 to 14-year-old swimmers, and the pace has been set here by Marcus Scullion. Into the wall he comes, 2:17.61 in that first heat. Good round of applause coming for those through, with Toby Stewart in 2nd on 2:18.11. Shane Craigmile, should I say, is in 3rd, very close between Joshua Skinner and Oliver Bradley, who finished 4th and 5th respectively. Confirmation of those scores will be coming in a couple of moments' time, before we're good to go with our next heat. Don't forget, looking ahead to the relays later on this morning as well, we have the men's and the women's 4x100 medley relays. Get involved with the hashtag Love a Relay. Lots of you did yesterday. Kicked off by those Derwent side dads on the far side. They're not feeling too rough after the pub yesterday at all, are they? Absolutely living life in Pod's Forge. What we want you to do, if you weren't here yesterday, get 4 of you into a picture. Do some ridiculous pose or something like that, as imaginative as possible. Send them in on the hashtag Love a Relay. We'll have a flick through the best. We'll probably announce it later today. And of course, your standard hashtag as well. That hasn't changed. Summer Champs 17. Lots of you getting in touch all across the week, whether you've been watching in venue or on the live stream. Keep those coming. Up next, though, we keep the heats coming with heat number 2 up next.
Take your mark.
In heat 2 then, lane 0 from Wickham District is Jan Poulton. In 1 from Derwent side is Lewis Maxwell. In 2 from Stockport Metro is Joseph Dayan. In 3 from City of Bristol is Jonah Silk. In 4 from Guildford City is Jordan McPhail. In 5 from Enfield is Joe Overton. In 6 from Neath is Jack Govia. In 7 from Northampton is Joshua Vance. Samuel Greenbank of Cockermouth is in 8, and in 9, completing the pool from Hillingdon, is Antonio Nicolau. But towards the halfway point we go then. Samuel Greenbank, the one to beat from Cockermouth in lane 8. He was leading after 50 metres, he still leads after 100. 104.86 his split time. Jordan McPhail in lane 4, currently in 2nd spot, and Jack Govia in 3rd of Neath. Of course, usually I say in the heats, doesn't really matter where you finish, but when all these swimmers are in the same age category, you really do have to go as fast as you can against your rivals. And Samuel Greenbank has definitely understood that memo and applied it effectively so far. He's still got around 60 metres to go, though. The stamina will be questioned very soon indeed. Jordan McPhail still up there in 2nd position. Jack Govia in lane 6. Knocking around the front 3 as well. Joe Overton not a million miles away in lane number 5. As they make the turn for home, though, the front 2 are still McPhail and Greenbank in 4 and 8. Lane 0, Jan Poulton of Wickham District. He's trying to get in touching distance of that front pack. There's a lot involved, though, in that tussle. Can't really rule anyone out of that front 3. All of them battling hammer and tongs to get a faster time as possible and have some sort of chance of getting into tonight's finals. Jordan McPhail and Samuel Greenbank will have the best chance that we've seen so far, though. 2:15.01, Jordan McPhail touches him first. Samuel Greenbank just in 2nd, led all the way up until the last, but he kept very close towards the front nonetheless. Jack Govia in 3rd of Neath. Up next is heat 3.
Like the swimmers go towards both sides, please.
I think we've sorted the backstroke ledge out. Up next, heat 3.
Take your mark.
Lane 0 from Wickham District is Cameron Brooker. In 1 from City of Lincoln is Darragh Clark. In 2 from City of Sheffield is Ruben Visder. Jack Munsey of Perth City goes in 3. In 4 from Winchester is Pietro Falcone. In 5 from Dulwich Dolphins is Willem Costa. In 6 from Hillingdon is Dylan Charner. Cole High of Dinnerton goes in 7. In 8 from City of Coventry is Tom Mitchell. And in 9 from Stockport Metro is Jolan Bennett. Very even first 100, and as most of the heats seem to be so far. Marginal lead being held by Pietro Falcone in lane 4. Just over his right shoulder is Willem Costa in 5. And also a strong start to this second set of 100 by Dylan Charner in lane 6 of Hillingdon. On this near side, 2 and 3, Ruben Visder and Jack Munsey. Also would be contention as well, knocking around those front 4 and 5 positions. Completing that top 5 at the moment is Tom Mitchell in lane 8 of City of Coventry. So they make the turn for home, led by Pietro Falcone still, who's at the tip of that mini arrow shape beginning to form in the centre. Willem Costa still second, this time in third. Ruben Visder has propelled himself up into that position from City of Sheffield. Of course, as we go through the heats, the categories start to get more varied, so it's not necessarily a direct race against each other. It's all about a race against the clock and to see how they will fare when it comes to the final standings and qualification for tonight's finals. But looking strong at these early stages, Pietro Falcone of Winchester, 2:13.37, sees him in first. Willem Costa, second all the way, manages to secure that spot as well by the end of the heat. Ruben Visder completes the fastest trio. And we're now ready for heat 4. And now we are good to go with heat number 4.
Take your mark.
Full complement in the pool for heat number 4. Lane 0 from Cockermouth is Rowan Greening. In 1 from Stratford is Thomas Beamer. Liam Brennan of Basildon and Phoenix goes in 2. And lane 3 from Stowmarket is Manfred Bethel. In 4 from City of Cambridge is Jonathan Adam. Harry Andrew of Laneborough goes in 5. In 6 from City of Glasgow is Mark Ford. 7 from City of Peterborough, Herbie Kinder. Alexander Sargent of Milkfield goes in 8. And 9 from Cockermouth is Pierce Greening. Well, he certainly seemed to have gone with form so far. Most of those taking first and second have been those in the middle lanes. Could be a bit different this time around though. Liam Brennan, the one leading at the halfway point. He's in lane 2. Mark Ford in second in lane 6. And third being held by Harry Andrew in lane 5. Jonathan Adam with a bit of work to do in lane 4 in order to show his worth as the fastest seed. Jonathan Adam and Harry Andrew in 4 and 5, both very close indeed to each other. Situated either side of that golden rope down the heart of the pool as they come up towards the wall for the final 50 metres now. Liam Brennan, our Basildon and Phoenix. Still the one out in front with that orange cap. The rest of the pool, particularly those in the centre, are very level indeed for second and third. It's going to be very close going in towards the wall. Can Liam Brennan keep on with this advantage though? Jonathan Adam starts cranking up a gear or two down in lane 4, and also in 6 Mark Ford of City of Glasgow gets going as well with those propellers. They're coming towards the wall. Who's going to get the first touch? Liam Brennan. Very good swim indeed to hold on in the end. 800ths of a second ahead of Jonathan Adam, who certainly showed why he was in lane 4 when he came to that back 50. Mark Ford completes the top 3 there for City of Glasgow in third, but the top 3, as you can see on the scoreboard, separated by 0.33 seconds. Very hard fought battle indeed, that heat. Let's go. Up next for heat 5.
Take your mark.
In 0 from Guildford City, Alexander Armstrong. Lane 1 from City Milton Keynes, Miles Drabwell. Lane 2 in this heat, but in 3 from Nova Centurion is Joshua Harris. Alex Mason, representing Chester Street, goes in 4. In 5 from City of Oxford, Nicholas Skelton. In 6 from Camden Swiss is Jackson Olin. In 7 from Newcastle is Alfie Kelly. In lane 8 from Basildon and Phoenix, James Cooper. And Finlay Saunders of Heart of Midlothian goes in lane number 9. But we go towards the halfway point then. The vast majority of the pool still in touching distance of each other. Turning first is Alexander Armstrong on the near side. Guildford City. Lane 7, Alfie Kelly of Newcastle up there as well, as he has been all week. And in lane 8, James Cooper of Basildon and Phoenix, knocking around the front 3 positions at this moment in time. Alexander Armstrong trying to make sure he doesn't drop off the pace a wee bit. As they make the turn for home, Alfie Kelly is the one out in front now. In lane 7, James Cooper alongside him. I say alongside him, just behind him, but in terms of the standings, he is currently in 2nd spot. Alexander Armstrong trying to make sure he doesn't end this race pointless, that is for sure. Alfie Kelly, though, still the one in front of him, but Alexander Armstrong battling strong all the way towards the finish. They are your front 2 coming in towards the wall now. Last couple of metres to go. Oh, and they are tied in front on 2:11.10. Goodness me. Alexander Armstrong and Alfie Kelly could not be separated there. James Cooper next in on 2:12.45. Confirmation of those times will be coming up on the screen in a moment or two. Nothing separating Alfie Kelly and Alexander Armstrong, both at the top of the tree. James Cooper in 3rd. Up next then, heat 6.
Take your mark.
Off we go then with heat 6 of 11. Past the halfway point, lane 0 from City of Salford is William Camden. In 1 from Stockport Metro, Harvey Jones. In 2 from Broke is Ian Lovey. Lane 3 from City of Bristol is Jack Smith. In 4 from Doncaster Darts is Simon Clement. In 5 from Plymouth Leander is Magomed Watley. In 6 from Derwent Side, Aaron Beckford. Lane 7 from Shiverers is Joel Thompson. In 8 from Swin Bournemouth, Oliver Fairman. And in 9 from City of Glasgow, Ryan Robertson. Here we go then towards the wall at the halfway point, leading the way in 5. I thought he was leading the way, Mohamed Wali, but in fact it's Harvey Jones in 1 from Stockport Metro, who's doing a very good job himself in the blue cap. And Harvey Jones definitely making the central lanes work. Of course, very difficult for these swimmers when they're looking up at the ceiling to know what's going off around them. I'm sure they can feel the splash though of each other, particularly in 3 and 4, Jack Smith and Simon Clement. They could be now closer to each other without getting under the rope at the moment. So we come up towards the final 50. Lead at the front has switched hands. Mohamed Wali of Plymouth Leander now the one ahead in lane 5. Harvey Jones still putting on relatively good pressure in lane 1. Rest of the pool, a very tight battle indeed. Simon Clement of Doncaster Darts in lane 4. Also up there is Oliver Fairman of Swin Bournemouth. You have to say Joel Thompson, in lane 7. Maybe fatigue coming to play a bit with his 5 golds and 1 silver this week. Coming in towards the wall now as we look towards the front. Who's going to get the first touch? 1 of 3. Oh, Oliver Fairman. What a great last 50 from him. 209.56 seems him sneak into first by 100th of a second ahead of Harvey Jones. In 3rd, Mohamed Wali of Plymouth Leander, 209.73, but tremendous comeback from Oliver Fairman of Swin Bournemouth, who takes heat 6. And we're good to go now with heat number 7.
Lane 5, can you move in a bit, please? Lane 5. Your mark.
Swimmers in this one spanning from 15-year category all the way up to the 19 years and over. So a lot at stake here. Lane 0 from Devonport, Harry Noble. In 1 from Wrexham, Andrew Ray. In 2 from Tigers Jersey, Robbie Jones. Keir Edgar of First goes in 3. In 4 from City of Leicester is Adam Wilkes. In 5 from Team Ipswich, Thomas Clare. In 6 from Guildford City is Lee Pullen. In 7 from City of Birmingham, Jacob Davies. In 8, Jonathan Bennett of Leicester Sharks. And in 9 from City of Oxford is Daniel Jenkins. Up we go towards the halfway point, leading the way in lane 7, Jacob Davies of City of Birmingham. Second being held by Thomas Clare in lane 5. Completing the front 3 for now is Adam Wilkes of City of Leicester. Of course, it can all change, and the rest of the pool has been very tight so far. What we seem to have seen in these heats is 1 or 2 bursting from the pack, and the peloton sticking very close together indeed. But the breakaway on now for Adam Wilkes of City of Leicester in lane 4. You can see he's beginning to make his move and crank up the gears a few notches. The ante definitely being up by him at the moment. He's not keeping up with Jacob Davies though of City of Birmingham in lane 7, who is still the one holding the lead going into the final 50 metres. The spring off the wall, very important indeed. It's a very good spring off the wall by Adam Wilkes of City of Leicester. Managed to hold himself in the wall for quite a long time there, and he's come out rapid as we go into the final 25 metres. So the front 3, very interesting indeed. Adam Wilkes in 4 from City of Leicester, Thomas Clare in 5 from Team Ipswich, and Jacob Davies of City of Birmingham in lane 7, who was led from the front right from the off, but that may change right at the last. Between Wilkes and Davies, and Wilkes gets it. City of Leicester swimmer on 208.07, 300ths of a second in the end, ahead of Jacob Davies. In third position, Thomas Clare of Team Ipswich. Front three in ascending order on the top of the scoreboard. They're very close to each other. The rest of the pool very tight together as well. See how Robbie Jones, Harry Noble, Daniel Jenkins and Keir Edgar all inside the 2:12 mark as we go on now to heat number 8. No lane 0 in this one, but in 1 from Millfield is Tom Gambold. 2 from first, Ryan Retson. Lane 3 from Northampton, Adel Elphicka. In 4 is City of Leeds' Miles Stirk. Lane 5 from Plymouth Leander, Frederick Cornwell. In 6 from Loughborough University, Nathan Wells. Lane 7 from Newcastle, Adam Wilson. No lane 8 in this one, but in 9 from Camden Swiss is Bryce Pusset. Well, we come towards the halfway point then. I have to say, the pool is a lot quieter when there are 2 absent lanes. Well, Stirk of City of Leeds, though, is the one leading the way in the yellow cap. Split time on the board of 1:0.85. He came into this event with an entry time of 2:08.44. Looks like he'll beat that with the current pace he's going at so far, particularly if he can up the speed as well in the second 100. Second position being held by Frederick Cornwell of Plymouth Leander in lane 5. In third was Nathan Wells, and he still holds that position. It's very close between him and Adam Wilson in lane 7 from Newcastle, and also up there in lane 3, Adel Elphicka of Northampton as well. The turn for home on though for our leader Miles Stirk from City of Leeds. Looking very smooth indeed through the pool. You can see the clear distinction between first and the rest of the pool, but that gap is beginning to evaporate, courtesy of Frederick Cornwell of Plymouth Leander. Once again, a vast contrast in age groups, and of course categories that these swimmers are aiming for in terms of finals tonight. As they come towards the wall, they want to get first nonetheless. Miles Stirk, though, never in doubt, was it? 2:07.26, he manages to get first position. Second spot, Nathan Wells of Loughborough University. And Frederick Cornwell manages to get third with 2:08.19. Confirmation of that will be coming up in a couple of moments' time, just making sure with the officials and everything present and correct. We do have a confirmed DQ in lane 1. But apart from that, nothing changes on the scoreboard as we're now ready for heat 9. All 10 swimmers present and correct for heat number 9 in the pool in lane 0 from Exeter City. And that bright green cap is Liam White. In 1 from City of Salford, Marcus Day, alongside his Salford teammate Matthew George. Lane 3 from University of Stirling is Jack Warren Ballard. Lane 4 from Loughborough University is Callum Barrett. Plymouth Leander's Perry Gardner goes in 5. In 6 from Newcastle is Nicholas Pyle. Lane 7 from Millfield is Thomas Thornley. In 8 from City of Sheffield, Charlie Brown. And in 9 from Ellesmere College Titans, Joseph Small. So a lot of familiar names in the pool here. Always seems to be the case when we go through further and further in the heats. These swimmers have made a lot of finals this week, and they'll be looking to cap things off here on the final day with another final tonight. Down the centre, Callum Barrett, with that bright pink cap in 4, alongside Perry Gardner in 5. The two leaders here, either side of them, more or less symmetrically. Well, Jack Warren Ballard in 3, and Nicholas Pyle in 6 for Newcastle. They're the leading quartet coming into the final 50 metres now. That push off the wall being made first by Perry Gardner and Plymouth Leander. Callum Barrett just 0.11 seconds behind in second. Just edging himself into third is Jack Warren Ballard, slightly ahead of Nicholas Pyle, but that's certainly going to be a close battle going into the final 25 here between those 4. Jack Warren Ballard in 3, Callum Barrett in 4, and Perry Gardner in 5, all looking for the senior final tonight. Nicholas Pyle in the 17-18 year category in lane 6, putting his wits against the older swimmers as they're coming towards the wall. Perry Gardner leads the charge then, 2:01.73. That tussle between him and Callum Barrett going all the way, but the Plymouth Leander swimmer having too much in the end. Callum Barrett in second for Loughborough University, and in third, indeed, is Nicholas Pyle. Gets there ahead of Jack Warren Ballard by 1/10 of a second on 2:03.56. Confirmation of that up on your scoreboard now. And we're good to go, I think, in our penultimate heat. Heat number 10. Indeed we are. Here it is. Lane 0 from Hatfield is William Kersey. 1 from Ellesmere College Titans, Jack Shillinglaw. And 2 from City of Sheffield is Elliot Clogg. Lane 3 from Loughborough University is Daniel Hall. In 4 from City of Cardiff, Javier Mohammed. In 5 from City of Glasgow, Craig McNally. In 6 from Taunton Dean, Jacob Greenow. Benjamin Steig in lane 7 represents Mount Kelly. And in 8 from Loughborough University is Craig Munden. Javier Mohammed in 4 from City of Cardiff, leading things coming up towards the halfway mark, qualified with a time of 1:59.84. One of 2 swimmers seeded for this event, managing to get south of 2 minutes. So a very strong swimmer is Javier Mohammed, as we've seen already this week. Leads clearly as well. The rest of the pool behind him, jostling for second and third at the moment. Craig McNally in 5 at City of Glasgow, alongside Daniel Hall of Loughborough University in 3, are particularly looking hot in contention for those spots. Elliot Clogg as well as City of Sheffield in lane 2, jostling away as well. There's ever a mixture of categories in this, 17, 18 and 19 and over involved in the argument in this one. Javier Mohammed, the oldest in the pool at the age of 27, with 25 metres to go. Definitely showing that extra maturity and experience going into the back end of this heat. Clearly ahead of the rest of the pool. It's going to be tight for second and third. I think Daniel Hall's just got his head in front in second. Elliot Clogg with a late burst for third. But at the front, Javier Mohammed, City of Cardiff, 1:59.23, improves on the entry time as well. In second spot, we wait a little bit before they all come in. Daniel Hall in second for Loughborough University on 2:03.59. And Elliot Clogg of City of Sheffield completes the fastest 3. An improvement on the entry time for him as well, 2:03.68. So just making sure downstairs that all those times can be confirmed before we show them on the scoreboard. Now anything will significantly change though, especially when Javier Mohammed of Cardiff so far in front of the rest of the pool by over 4 seconds. Looking very good indeed. for qualification for tonight's finals. Of course, all 10 of these swimmers will hope to get there. We'll have to wait and see as to who makes the confirmed 10 in each of the respective age categories. Confirmation on the scoreboard. We're good to go in our final heat, heat number 11. Final heat in this event then. Lane 0 from Mount Kelly, Ben Harrison. The 1 from Sutton Keam is Michael Rees. 2 from City of Peterborough is Jamie Scholes. In 3 from Wickham District is James McFadden. In 4 from Bath University, Joseph Hume. In 5 from Loughborough University is Daniel Cross. Ewan Evans of City of Cardiff goes in 6. In 7 from Aberdeen is Alistair Miley. Lane 8 from Mount Kelly is Finn Linton. And completing the pool for the final time in this event is William Riley of Bath University in lane number 9. Well, very distinctive leader at the moment in Joseph Hume at Bath University, soaring ahead of everybody else. A bit of a dismantled setup in the pool at the moment. Of course, when all the swimmers in the finals are in the same age category, around the same sort of times, it will look a lot more even tonight. But for now, a clear advantage for the Bath University swimmer Daniel Cross in lane 5 is second. In third was Jamie Scholes at that turn. Here we go, the final 20 metres for a vast majority of these swimmers. Not for the front two, though. Joseph Hume and Daniel Cross making very light work of this indeed as they come towards the wall. They can ease off significantly here. 201.8 for Joseph Hume. Daniel Cross in second on 202.61. Jamie Scholes does indeed complete the fastest 3, 204.9. Sees him as the fastest swimmer in that heat in the 17-18 year category. Joseph Hume and Daniel Cross, though, the top 2 in that one in the senior category, take heat number 11. And we now hand over back to the women for the 100 metre butterfly heats, starting with heat number 1. Lane 1 from Guildford City is Abigail Poulton. In 2 from Borough of Waltham Forest, Emily Eiley. In 3 from Swim Gwynedd is Maddie Harris. In 4 from Hatfield is Sarah Klawaska. In 5 from RTW Monson is Mia Burns. 6 from Northampton is Isabel Hume. In 7 from Barnet Cockthall is Fleur Lewis. In 8 from Newcastle is Krista Wilson as she completes the pool. Here we go then, final 50 metres, leading the way in lane 4, Sarah Klawaska of Hatfield, looking very purposeful indeed down the centre. Good swim as well from Krista Wilson in lane 8 of Newcastle. Next to her, Fleur Lewis of Barnet Cockthall should be around those front few positions. Cheer coming in for Sarah Klawaska then of Hatfield, 104.49 sees her take that heat. And second, Krista Wilson of Newcastle, and Fleur Lewis in third of Barnet Cockthall. Confirmed DQ in lane 4, that does change. Complexion of that heat with Krista Wilson now on top. Let's go now for heat 2. Lane 0 from Borough of Stockton is Melody Jones. In 1 from Stockport Metro, Olivia Heron. In 2 from Northampton is Betsy Wizard. And 3 from Swansea is Chloe Pritchard. In 4, Ruby Burns of Satellite. In 5 from Team Mercia is Molly Quelch. In 6 from RTW Monson, Hannah Lambert. Alex Boner of Aberdeen is in 7. In 8 from Leander is Kirsten Harvey. And in 9 from City of Birmingham is Alicia Stevenson. Very close indeed, coming into the final 10 metres or so now. Pick a name out of a hat for this one in terms of your front 3. In they come towards the wall. Melody Jones of Borough of Stockton manages to get there first. Good heat there for the outside lanes. Alicia Stevenson in 2nd for City of Birmingham. And in 3rd is Betsy Wizard. Let's move on to heat number 3. Lane 0 from Colchester is Sophie Freeman. In 1 from City of Leeds is Ella Potts. No lane 2 in this heat, but in 3 from Millfield is Sophia Wilson. Lane 4 from Peterborough, Mia Leach. In 5 from Chelsea and Westminster is Freya Shaw. Holly White of City of Liverpool goes in 6. In 7 for Bournemouth Collegiate is Ella Chow. In 8 from Hatfield is Lauren Stott. And in 9 from Brompton is Alicia Kelly. Good swim again from lane 0. Seems to be a good lane to be drawn in at this moment in time. Sophie Freeman, this time around, the one leading the way. I think she's going to hold on to that as well. Nearest challenge would be from Holly White in lane 6. And also Ella Cho as well. They finished 2nd and 3rd though, behind Sophie Freeman of Colchester. Quick swim from her, 104.26. Improvement on the entry time. Holly White in 2nd, Ella Cho in 3rd. Let's go on to heat 4. Line 0 from City of Sheffield is Madeline Dyer. In 1 from Aberdeen, Anya Slesser. In 2 from Swim Gwynedd is Eve Goddard-Smith. Line 3 from South Ayrshire is Lucy Grieve. In 4 from City of Bristol, Jessica Podger. In 5 from T-Bath is Rhiannon Bowen. In 6 from Stockport Metro, Amy West. Charlotte Wynne-Jones of City of Milton Keynes occupies 7. In 8 from Stockport Metro, Megan Sheard. And in 9 from First is Kirsten Laurie. Some good competitive heats so far in this women's 100-metre butterfly. This one absolutely no different. Good swim in 7 from Charlotte Wynne-Jones so far. Also in 2 from Swim Gwynedd, Eve Goddard-Smith. Just looking around to see Lucy Grieve as well. I think she'll just be behind them in 3rd. She is as well. Eve Goddard-Smith then topping things. 103.68 your winning time that time around. Half a second in front of Charlotte Wynne-Jones. In 3rd, indeed, is Lucy Grieve. Confirmation of those times in ascending order on the scoreboard. We go on now to Heat 5. And as you can see, full pool present and correct for heat number 5. In lane 0 from Barrow is Ruth McEwen. In 1 from Wycombe District, Eleanor Cohen. In 2 from Swim Gwynedd, Martina Ruskowska. In 3 is Katie Laban from Hartlepool. In lane 4 from Ealing, Brodie Judge. Lane 5 from Stockport Metro is Emma Rosen. In 6 from Tennant Swim is Hannah Denny. In 7 from Warrington Warriors is Gabrielle Melbourne Smith. In 8 from Guildford City is Molly Robinson. And in 9 is Jura Tanier from Plymouth Leander. And Jura Tanier, one of the super Plymouth swimmers in the relay that we saw last night. With the younger age group, 14-16-year-old. She was on the last leg for Plymouth Leander and she did a sterling job indeed. She's in the front 3 this time around. Ahead of her though, Martina Rozowska and Swim Gwynedd in 1st position. Emma Rosen in 2nd for Stockport Metro. And Jura Tanier props up the trio with 3rd position. Let's go to heat number 6 now. Lane 0 is Rotherham Metro's Debbie Cocking. In 1 and 2 from Aberdeen are Gaia Alcaraz and Rosie Morgan respectively. Lane 3 from Street is Kelly Parker. Lane 4 from Stockport Metro is Kira Standing. In lane 5 from Thanet Swim is Daisy Anderson. In 6 from City of Newport is Megan Allison. Lane 7 from Nofio Clwyd is Elena Morgan. Kira Morris of City of Cardiff goes in 8. And in 9 from Stockport Metro is Rebecca Pearson. Down the centre, it's Rebecca Pearson's teammate, Kira Standing, is the one sitting pretty at the top at the moment as it stands, coming into the final few metres now. She's definitely the one to beat and she will not be letting up this lead either. 102.51, an improvement on the entry time as well by 0.7 seconds. 2nd spot, Kaylee Parker of Street. And in 3rd, look at that, Elena Morgan, Daisy Anderson, both on 103.81. Nothing separating those two. Let's go on now to heat 7. In 0 is Mount Kelly's Kaylee Decker. In 1 from Stockport Metro, Caitlin Bergen. Lane 2 from City of Cardiff, Rebecca de Torres. In 3 from Edinburgh University is Emily Jones. In 4 from Brompton, Spencer Williams. In 5 is Hatfield's Shannon Stott. In 6 from Millfield is Emma Harvey. In lane 7 from Crawley, Abby Jackson. In 8 from South Aberdeen is Jessica Christie. And Megan Grant of Aberdeen is in lane 9. Great sport coming from poolside once again. Good to hear you've not run out of voices after a week's worth of support on the side. Touching in first is Emma Harvey of Millfield. In second spot is Caitlin Bergen of Stockport Metro. And in third is Kaylee Decker of Mount Kelly. Up next, heat number 8. In 0 from Millfield is Isabel Jones. 1 from City of Glasgow is Emily Horn. 2 from University of Stirling, Lauren Mills. In lane 3 from Edinburgh University is Anna Newlands. 4 from Heart of Midlothian is Kenna McInnes. In 5 from Loughborough University is Harriet West. Raquel Matos of Edinburgh University is in 6. Occupying 7 from Ealing is Anna Hopkin. In 8 from Wirral Metro, Tori Sopp. And in 9 from Loughborough University is Amrita Robertson. Harriet West in all black in lane 5, clawing away towards the wall at the back end of this second 50. On the far side as well, her teammate Amrita Robertson not going along too badly either. Harriet West leading the way then. Kenna McInnes gets in second spot, just ahead of Amrita Robertson. A Loughborough 1-3. You can see that on the scoreboard now. Up next, penultimate heat, heat number 9. Cracking tweet coming in from Tina on the hashtag SummerChamp17. Good to see the other half of the Derwent side team as well. The Derwent side mums on the far side. There they are. Hello. Quite a lot of you. Let's have a look at the pool then for heat number 9. In lane 0 from Loughborough University is Brianna Close. In 1 from City of Derby, Sophie Yendall. In 2 from Poole is Jasmine McRae. Lane 3 from City of Leeds, Amelia Kleins. In 4 from Newcastle, Emily Large. In 5 representing City of Cardiff is Harriet Jones. Isabel Spindley of Deepings goes in 6. In 7 from City of Leeds is Anna Cheeseborough. In 8 from City of Leicester is Maisie Elliott. And in 9 from Leicester Sharks is Danielle Tomlinson. But we come towards the wall then. Good swim coming from Isabel Spindley in lane 6. She's the one that takes it just over a minute, 1:0.41. In second is Harriet Jones of City of Cardiff, and Emily Large completes the fastest 3 that time around. Both Harriet Jones and Emily Large have gone below 1 minute before. This time they have to settle for second and third in that heat just above as we go on to our final heat, heat number 10. Lane 0 from Loughborough University is Candice Hall. No lane 1 in this event, but in 2 from Aberdeen, Kirsty Simpson. Lane 3 from Edinburgh University is Tane Bruce. In 4 from Loughborough University, Rachel Kelly. In 5 from Plymouth Leander, Laura Stevens. In 6 from City of Sheffield is Izzy Grant. In 7 from City of Birmingham, Caitlin Hubbard. And completing the pool in 8 from Aberdeen is Yasmin Perry. Down the centre, Rachel Kelly of Loughborough University, looking very strong indeed, leading the charge in towards the final 10 metres or so. To her left is Tame Bruce of Edinburgh University in the purple. She's looking strong. And just behind them will be Laura Stevens in lane 5. In they come towards the wall then, 59.43. Finally, that minute barrier is broken by Rachel Kelly in these heats. Second spot taken by Laura Stevens of Plymouth Leander, just in front of Tame Bruce of Edinburgh University, who finishes in 3rd. Final set of confirmed results for that event up on the scoreboard now.
Still plenty to come this morning on the final day of the British Swimming Summer Championships 2017. We've got the men's 50 fly coming up very shortly for you. And then we'll end this morning's session with 4 lots of heats in the 4x100 medley relay. And we've got a swim off to round off the penultimate session of these Summer Championships here at Ponds Forge. And we are now ready to move on to our next event. Please welcome the athletes to poolside for the men's 50 metres butterfly heats. This is heat number 1. Four swimmers in the first of 11 heats here in the men's 50 fly. Lane 3 is Lewis Binning. Lane 4, James Cox. In 5 is Callum Atkinson. And in 6 is Samuel Rose. And it's lane 3, Lewis Binning from Romford Town, that is edging away here. Lane 6, Samuel Rose looking okay as well. It'll be Binning that gets the touch, 27.48. Samuel Rose touching in second, 28.05. Those results confirmed up on the scoreboard for you there. And we are now ready to go straight back up to the other end for heat number 2. Heat 2 then, in 0, Ethan Grace Riches. 1, Lewis Maxwell. 2, Jason Robson. 3, Mark Ford. In 4, Archie Dunn. 5, Matthew Broughton. In 6, Dylan Charner. 7, Calvin Fry. 8 is William Geary. And in lane 9 is Ellis Morgan. Far more difficult to call than that smaller field in heat number 1. Lane 7 and 8 going well. I think they'll be the top 2 as we come into the touch. It's William Geary that gets it in lane 8. For Worcester, 27.24, just 1/10 of a second behind him. Calvin Fry in second. Lewis Maxwell completing the top 3 in heat number 2. And we'll move on swiftly to heat number 3. Heat number 3 in 0, Rocco Sizer. 1, David Gillespie. 2, Toby Sijuade. 3, William Barber. 4, Tommaso Danova. 5, George Stagg. 6, Austin Slade Jeffrey. 7, Douglas Kelly. 8, Sean Patrick McGowan. And 9, Billy Lee Knowles. Sijuani going well in lane 2, also in lane 5, George Stagg looking good. As they come in to the touch, it is Stagg that gets it, 27.1. Toby Sijuani, 27.24 in second. 27.48 for William Barber, who rounds off the top 3 in heat 3. And we can go back up the other end once again for heat number 4. In 0 in this one, Fraser Wilson. 1 is Joseph Thompson. 2, Tom Adams. 3, Max Weeks. 4, Cole Hewitt. 5, George Robert Shaw. 6, Nathan Woodrow. 7, Salvador Gordo. 8, Colin Saliboko. And 9 is Ross Philp. Middle lane's looking good here, particularly lane 5, George Robert Shaw of Dorking. He's just a fraction ahead of the rest, and he touches him first in 27 flat. 27.31 in second for Cole Hewitt. Third was Joseph Thompson of Plymouth Leander, 27.5. This is heat 5. In 0, Samuel Perks. In 1 is Jamie Booth. 2 is Shaquille Jordani. 3, Jonathan Adams. 4, Joshua Smith. 5, Jack Bowyer. 6, Cameron Clark. 7, Cameron Lewis. 8, Hugh Williams. And in 9 is Miles Robinson-Young. Not a lot between all 10 of these swimmers as we approach the last 5 or 10 metres here. In lane 5, possibly just edging ahead. In fact, it's 8. Hugh Williams gets it, 26.70, just 0.07 of a second ahead of Cameron Clark in lane 7. And Jack Bowyer from lane 5 does round off the top 3. And we'll go back over to heat number 6. Lane 0, Samuel Beverley. 1 is Andrew McIntosh. Lane 2, Edward Mildred. 3, Taylor Bowen. 4, Benjamin Moore. In 5, William Graham. 6 is Aaron Fox. Lane 7, Bradley Gordon. 8 is Louis Mitchell. And in lane number 9, Marcus Cook. Making a strong start is Andrew McIntosh in lane 1. He just about leads. Maybe lane 7, Bradley Gordon going well. Also, it is McIntosh that gets there. 26.30 is the winning time in that heat. 26.72 for second place, Bradley Gordon. And in third, Edward Mildred of Northampton. Those results confirmed on the screen. And we'll go over to heat number 7. Going in 0 in this one, Ned Sharp. Lane 1, Zachary Patel. 2, Anton Akopian. 3, Max Nugent. 4, Carl Barrett. 5, Matthew Richards. In 6, Alec White. 7, Reed Jones. 8, Alfie Evans. And in lane 9 is Charlie Poole. In fact, no lane 8 in this one, and it is pretty much a straight line all the way across the Ponds Forge pool here. Who will get this heat on the touch? It's all the way on the outside lane in lane 9, Charlie Poole, 26.43. Good swim from him. 26.58, second place for Alec White. And in fact, a dead heat there for second between White and Matthew Richards. Those results confirmed. Here we go with heat number 8. Lane 0 in this one, Will Morris. Lane 1, Thomas Carswell. 2, Luke Hollingsworth. 3, Alistair Stout. 4, Harry Stacey. 5, Matthew Titman, 6, Lewis Kerrod, 7 is Daniel Morley, 8, Joel Thompson, and in lane 9 goes Alex Mason. Lanes 1, 3, 4 and 6 all looking good at this stage. Who's got the last 5 metres in them? It is lane 6, City of Leicester's Lewis Kerrod, 25.89, taking that heat win. Thomas Carswell of Tadcaster in second, 25.96, both going sub 26 seconds. 26.05 for Harry Stacey in third. Time now for heat number 9. In 0 is Ewan Smith, no lane 1. Lane 2, Christian Rotundu. 3, Jacob Peters. 4 is Adam Taylor. 5, Alexander Bowen. 6, Thomas Sinclair. 7, Oliver Maltby. 8, Ieston Cole. And 9 is Joel Watterson. Pretty even across most of the central lanes here as in heat number 9. On the touch, 24.66 for Adam Taylor in lane number 4. 24.71 for second place, Oliver Maltby, and in third place in that heat, just about, is Jacob Peters of Poole. Penultimate heat then in the men's 50 fly. This is heat number 10. In 0, Scott McClay. 1 is Rory Huggins. In 2, Sam Horrocks. 3, Eduardo Valsecchi. 4, Robert Fannon. 5, Callum Bain. 6, Daniel Savage. 7, Kieran McGuckin. In 8 is Thomas Bealey. And going in lane 9 is Ben Hooper. It's a good effort so far from Sam Horrocks in lane 2. Coming through in lane 5 as well. Callum Bain looking strong. It is Sam Horrocks, 24.41 from lane 2 that gets the heat win. Bain, 24.53 is good enough for second. And third in that heat, Daniel Savage of Northampton, 24.73. Results confirmed there for heat 10. We move on to our final heat, heat number 11. Final heat then of the men's 50 butterfly. 0 is Daniel Austin. 1, Dominic Wooldridge. 2, Matthew Domville. 3, Brian O'Sullivan. 4, Adam Fowle. 5, Alistair Wright. 6, Cameron Brooks-Clark. 7, Peter Webster. 8, Leon Birchie. And in 9 is James Watson. Coming through in lane 4, Adam Fall. And 5, Alistair Wright's not far behind him. Neither is Peter Webster in 7. Adam Fall touches first in lane 4, 24.43. 24.69, good enough for second in that heat for Brian O'Sullivan. And completing the top 3 in the final heat of the men's 50 metres butterfly, Alistair Wright, also of Loughborough University, 24.83.
So those ledgers being put back in place at the scoreboard end here at Ponds Forge. That's not because the backstroke's coming up, it's because we've got the relays, which of course includes the backstroke. The women's 14 to 16-year-old 4x100 metre medley relay coming up in a few moments' time. There will be 3 heats of that, then we go into the older year group, the 17 years and over. Once again, 3 heats where that came from, and then the men follow with both of their age categories as well. We've seen 2 incredible nights of relay action so far here in the Steel City, and we're hoping these girls, currently stood on the pool deck, have got something even more magnificent in store in the next few moments. And on we go then with the relays, ladies and gentlemen. It's the women's 14 to 16-year-old 4x1 medley relay. This is Heat 1. Off we go then with the first leg. Lane 2 are City of Coventry, Lauren Cox in the pool for them at the moment. In lane 3 was Seven Oaks with Zoe Naylor-Perrott currently on their first leg. Leading the charge for Newcastle in lane 4 is Neve Page. In 5 are Hatfield, Grace Wiley currently with the baton for the pink team. In 6, Chelsea and Westminster, Charlotte O'Leary leading them out of the blocks. And in lane 7, City of Milton Keynes with Kayla Lawson. Very clear to see who is leading the way at the moment though, with 25 metres to go on this backstroke leg of the relay. Indeed, it is Lauren Cox of City of Coventry. Quite a significant buffer separating her in second, which is, incidentally, Neve Page of Newcastle. Into the pool though, they make the change now. Lauren Cox passing over to Erin Jones. City of Coventry out in front. Can we please have a coach or representative from Barrow and Brompton, please? Barrow and Brompton. And also a coach or representative from Milngavie and Corby to the timing suite as soon as possible, please. So Barrow, Brampton, Milngavie and Corby. If you're a coach or representative from one of those 4 clubs, please make your way down to the timing suite as soon as possible. Eyes quickly back onto the pool then. Erin Jones continuing where Lauren Cox left off on the first leg for City of Coventry. It's been a strong start from them so far, should I say, leaving the rest of the pool in their midst to all battle away with each other. Of course, when it comes to the heats of the relays, all these swimmers and all these teams are in the same age categories. This time 14 to 16-year-old, so they are all directly against each other, unlike most individual heats. It does mean that a lot of these swimmers could definitely be back here again should they come out on top in this heat. The heat times and the entry times are very close between all 3 heats, so it really is anyone's guess, anyone's place for those final positions. Coventry doing their best to make it theirs, but the fight back is on from Chelsea and Westminster. Currently in the pool for them is Freya Shaw on the butterfly leg. It's been a strong one so far from them, and also coming down on the outside of them in lane 7 is City of Milton Keynes with Charlotte Wynne-Jones. All in pursuit still of City of Coventry, who have Lauren McConaughey in the pool. 4:34.11 was their entry time, and they are well on the road to defeating that here. Swift stuff from them so far. How long will it continue for? Because you can see hunting them down on the far side in 6 and 7, Chelsea and Westminster, and also City of Milton Keynes as well. This is going to be a fascinating final 100 metres of this medley. Here we go with the freestyle then, 100 metres separating potentially 1 or 2 or maybe none of these sides from the finals. We'll have to wait and see. It's all about how fast they can go, but Chelsea and Westminster are really getting a bit of a sting in the tail here. Maya Dunleavy doing a superb job. They are above now City of Coventry with 50 metres to go. The fight back Has to be big, this, from Madeline Hoare, if she is to make sure she gets her team back into contention. Also in lane 4 as well, Newcastle with Sophie Brandon doing tremendously well on this freestyle to claw their way back into this relay. It's a 3-horse race coming towards the conclusion. It may be a bit of too little too late for Francesca Whiting and Sevenoaks to come in towards the wall. Will it be City of Coventry? Will it be Newcastle? Will it be Chelsea and Westminster? It is the latter. Cheers from the Londoners as they touch in on 4:30.04, managing to sneak their way in the final 100 there ahead of City of Coventry, who did tremendously well, nevertheless, to get into the top 3. Newcastle on 4:30.69 were very strong indeed in the second half of that medley relay. There you confirmed times for all the teams in that heat. Breathless stuff in that first heat. There are still a couple more to come as well. Those teams will be looking on very keenly indeed at the next 2 heats to see whether or not they have managed to secure their place in tonight's relay finals. Everyone wants to be there. That first heat there, just a flavour of what is to come for the rest of this morning's session. Up next then, seat number 2. Underway with heat number 2 of 3 then. Of course, 100 at back, 100 breast, 100 fly, then 100 free. Gripping start to things in that first heat. Let's see what this second one can produce. In lane 0, Hillingdon, Joanne Neal in the pool for them. In lane 1, Onofio Clwyd and Abby Hall. In 2, City of Peterborough and Anna Leslie. In lane 3, Caitlin Hubbard leads the charge for City of Birmingham. Lane 4, Stockport Metro, Caitlin Bergen leading them out in this relay. In 5, Northampton and Charlotte Fletcher Stables. In 6, Thanet and Robin Moon. In lane 7 are City of Oxford with Mimi Morley Izzard. In 8 is City of Sheffield, who make the changeover now from Lily Bosley to Sophie Barker. And in 9, Mount Kelly. Didn't have Athena Clayson in the pool. Second leg for them, Molly Francis. So another shout out for a coach or representative from Barrow, Corby and Milngavie, please, to the timing suite. That's Barrow, Corby and Milngavie to the timing suite as soon as possible, please. Thank you. Fascinating developments in the early stages of this medley race. Leading the way at the moment are City of Birmingham in lane 3. Charlotte Rigg doing a good job so far on this breaststroke leg. Of course, when it comes to the individual medleys, the breaststroke leg always seems to be the one that throws up the big surprises. In the team relays, they're on the second leg. So movement happens pretty early on, which makes it very fascinating when we go on to the fly and the free afterwards. In lane 5 is Elsa McDonald of Northampton. Northampton have had a good time of it in the younger age categories in the relays this week, and they're not going too badly either coming up towards the halfway point. And wedged in between them in lane 4 are Stockport Metro and Charlotte Hume, who is now about to pass over to Rebecca Pearson at this halfway stage. So 200 metres to go then. 100 of fly and 100 of free. What sort of advantage can these butterfly swimmers managed to get for their teammates going into that final 100. Very keen to make sure it's as big an advantage as possible as Alicia Stevenson in lane 3 in City of Birmingham. They've made a good start to this heat and they look as if they're going to continue where they have left off at the end of that second leg. Currently in second spot, Rebecca Pearson of Stockport Metro in lane 4, with Isabel Hume just next to them of Northampton in lane 5. You have to say the pool on that far side, spanning from 4 to around 7 or 8, are looking pretty close indeed, and they're all ready to hunt down the leading 3 coming into the back end of this heat now. But City of Birmingham unchallenged at the front still. Alicia Stevenson doing exactly what the Birmingham Dogs asked for. So here we go, 100 metres to go on the freestyle. Taking the pool in lane 3, Erin Davis. Next to her in lane 4, in the red costume and the blue cap, is Stockport Metro's Alicia Hawkins. A fierce battle already kicking off in lane 6 and 5 between Maisie McCartney of Thanet Swim and also Betsy Wizard of Northampton in lane 5. A look across to lane 8, City of Sheffield for the first time, throwing their hat into the ring. Alice Thickett on their anchor leg as they turn for home at the front now. Erin Davis in City of Birmingham does not have the lead that she boasted at the start of this leg. That is all down to Alicia Hawkins, who's determined swimming for Stockport Metro. She's trying to make that lead in front of her just vanish, and at the moment it is beginning to evaporate. 25 metres to go. She's running out of time to make sure that her team get the fastest time here. In lane 6, Maisie McCartney and Thanet Swim still trying to make sure that her team finish in the top 3, but Betsy Wizard of Northampton having something to say about that. We go towards the front and it is Erin Davis and City of Birmingham who led all along, 4:22.13, half a second in front of Stockport Metro. And in third position, Thanet Swim managing to clamber their way in front of Northampton, and they complete the fastest trio that time around. All 10 teams then in at the touch. Big well done to all of them. Great entertainment once again. Let's have a look at the times on the scoreboard. Very close. Half second separating City of Birmingham and Stockport Metro, but it is the former that win Heat 2. Final heat up next then, it's heat number 3. Off and underway. Third heat of the women's 14 to 16-year-old 4x1 medley relay. Don't forget there are 3 heats to come in the older category, the 17 years and over, and then we hand it over to the men. Standard though has been set very high, should I say, by these young girls so far. Lane 0, City of Cardiff. Georgina Withers Polk is the one on their first leg. Lane 1, Ardifencio and Alicia Soloku In 2 on Millfield, Tatiana Tostivin leads them out in the charge. In lane 3 are Preston and Elizabeth Wafer. In 4 are Heart of Midlothian, Lexi Waller on their first leg. City of Leeds are in 5 with Tia Ward. In 6, Swim Gwinnett and Medi Harris. In lane 7 are Wickham District with Amelia Sansom. In 8 are Wigan Best and Charlotte Nesta. And in 9, Aberdeen and Sarah Fraser. Coming towards the back end. And in fact, we finished the first leg and the first changeover being made by Heart Midlothian in lane 4. This is the final call for coach and representative from Barrow and one from Corby, please. Can we have a representative from Barrow and one from Corby to the timing suite as soon as possible? Thank you. Of course, the great thing about these medley relays is the fact that each swimmer has their own strength on their leg. So it's not a case of 4 swimmers doing their best with the freestyle. It is a case of each swimmer on each leg showing what they can do with their favoured stroke, and that is why the standard is so high. Millfield up towards the front, then in lane 2 alongside Heart of Midlothian, who have led from the start here, and they're coming towards the halfway point, looking very good indeed with Ellie Riley currently in the pool for them. Millfield currently have Sophia Wilson carrying their baton as we come towards the back end of this breaststroke. In terms of third, there's around 4 teams knocking around for that position as they're coming towards the wall at the halfway point. Then Heart Midlothian managing to hold the lead that they have boasted from the start. They were quickest qualifiers in the entry times with 4:17.23 for this event, which was over 6 seconds quicker than nearest rival City of Leeds, who are in lane 5. So Heart Midlothian, the overwhelming favourite coming into this event, and on the third leg now with Kiana McInnes, they do not look as if they're going to let this lead slip just yet. The rest of the pack looking very tight indeed between 3, 5, 6 and 7. Could maybe throw in Wigan in lane 8 if Mia Greenow can get some good momentum going on this leg. But Millfield are still the closest challengers at the moment to the leaders from Scotland. Emma Harvey currently in the pool for Millfield in the green cap. Difficult for her at the moment, in a bit of limbo. She's a bit of a distance away from the front. There's a bit of a gap between her and third as well. That is momentarily though, because here comes City of Leeds on the back end of their third leg, and Kira Schlossen has really managed to make up some ground here. And Leeds are really pushing Millfield all the way. Of course, a lot of these teams could end up qualifying for the finals tonight. They are in the fastest team, therefore you would expect there would be quite a few representatives from this race in tonight's final, but it is not as simple as that. You've got to earn the right to be there, and Heart of Midlothian are doing exactly that. Emma Russell now trying to cap off what's been a perfect relay from them so far. She's at the halfway mark of her final leg, and she has a massive advantage ahead of the rest of the pool, and she will wave goodbye to them now as she comes back against all of them. In second are still Millfield, but Leeds are putting up a real fight here. Leah Crisp trying to gather up as much ground as she can in front of her, but Millfield have been very strong all the way through, despite the pursuit coming from behind them, and Warris Mills looks as if she should do enough to bring it home. But here comes Leah Crisp. Never rule out City of Leeds. It's going to be tight between second as we come towards the end. At the first though, hats off to Heart of Midlothian. Really good swim, 4:17 on the dot. In terms of second, Millfield managed to do it. Really good stamina from Millfield there, because goodness me, it was hairy scary at the end with City of Leeds closing them down, but Millfield had enough. Good end to that by Warris Mills. City of Leeds in third then, Millfield second, Heart Midlothian taking that heat in first with a very impressive team performance indeed. DQ just to bring you in lane 1 as well. Confirmation of those scores in ascending order on the screen now. So we now move on to the 17 years and over women's 400 metre medley team event. This is heat number 1. Well, we said before this morning that this was a jam-packed session of swimming, and it's getting longer and longer as we go on, it seems, as we have 3 swim-offs coming up at the end of the men's relays. So do make sure you stick around for them swim-offs. Bring you more information about them as and when we get it. Looking across to the pool now, though, for this first of 3 heats in the women's 17 years and over 4x1 medley relay, and in lane 3 are Warren de Bass in the pool for them. Niamh Ritchie. In 4, Guildford City B, Katie Hodgson doing the first leg for them. In lane 5, Mount Kelly, led out by Emily Cutler, and in 6, it's Camilla Hattersley doing the backstroke leg for City of Glasgow, and she's the one leading the way coming up towards the back end of her set of 100 now, with Emily Cutler of Mount Kelly slightly behind her in second spot, around half a second separating City of Glasgow and Mount Kelly on that changeover. As we now go on to the breaststroke, and look at that, Morgan Penny into the pool for Mount Kelly at the moment, not wasting any time at all with this, already managing to claw herself in front of Anna Fleming, who's now in the pool for Glasgow. Those 2 in 5 and 6, leaving behind Sarah Tripp of Guildford City in 4 and Katie Smith of Warren de Bath in 3, but do expect to close this one to close up as we go on. Just 0.6 seconds separating all 4 of these teams on the entry time. And of course, swimming is done in the pool and not on paper. Definitely being exemplified so far by this good early start from Mount Kelly. Morgan Penny is the one getting encouragement from the pool deck, and as she comes in towards her final 15 metres or so now, she will be passing over an advantage to Chloe Barham on the 3rd leg, which of course is the butterfly. City of Glasgow have a bit of work to do in order to regain this lead. Anna Fleming will pass over to Emily Horn in a few moments' time. Still tight in terms of 3rd position between Warren de Bass and Guildford City B. Of course, once again, a lot of work for those in the earlier heats to do in order to make the finals, but it is, of course, still possible. Chloe Barrow now in the pool for Mount Kelly and looking to pick up from where Morgan Penny left off, and so far she is doing exactly that. She's maintaining that lead. Of course, she'd look to get even further as well, as it's all about time rather than position in this heat. In lane 6, City of Glasgow making sure Emily Horn keeps Mount Kelly very close company. Guildford City B beginning to be left behind by Warren de Bass in that pursuit for 3rd at the moment. Jessica Damon in the pool for Warrender in lane 3. Guildford City have Kate Windle with the baton for them in lane 4, and it has been a bit of a struggle so far for Guildford B. Of course, there's still over 100 metres to go here. The final change now occurring for Mount Kelly into the pool very briskly indeed. Holly Taylor replacing Chloe Barrow, and she will be flying the Mount Kelly flag in this final 100. City of Glasgow, though, with a bit between their teeth. Gulsum O'Neill is certainly not taking defeat in this seat, and she is out of the traps like a flash. It's going to be a 2-horse race, I suspect, all the way down to the finish between Holly Taylor in lane 5 and Mount Kelly, and City of Glasgow's Gulsum O'Neill in lane 6. They look like they definitely mean business going into the final 50, and goodness me, Will Holly Taylor be aware of the threat coming towards her right-hand side now? This is going to be a very close finish towards the end. These two will be pushed all the way. There will be no slowing down, whether it's the heats or not. Neither of them want to lose out. Holly Taylor still battling away, trying to hold on to that lead. But Gulsum O'Neill looks as if she may have just fractionally turned it on its head. She leads by a nose coming in towards the conclusion of this one. But Holly Taylor, by goodness me, not giving up. More or less holding hands here towards the wall. Who's going to take it? It's City of Glasgow. Gulsum O'Neill with a super last 100 there to resurrect their hopes of taking that heat. In Dutch, she may indeed manages to get the quickest time as well. Mount Kelly are in second spot. Warren de Bass in third. They come out on top just ahead of Guildford City B in the end. Big improvement being made though by City of Glasgow on the entry time. 4:34.67 it was. You look at them times, all four teams, no matter where they finished, have managed to up on the entry time. So commendable stuff from all 16 swimmers there. In a few moments' time, we will be ready to go with heat number 2. So I said we'd have some swim-offs to bring you. We do indeed have 3 of them as well. They'll be coming up at the back end of this scheduled morning session, the end of the men's relays. And the swim-offs will be in the men's 200 metre freestyle, the women's 100 fly, and the men's 50 fly. A lot at stake then, coming up later on at the end of this morning after the relays. Let's have a look then at this second heat. In lane 0, our Camden Swiss with Anne Schmidt doing their first leg. In lane 1, City of Cambridge and Lauren Hall. In 2, Loughborough University. Good start being made by Emily Crane on the backstroke. In lane 3, Nova Centurion and Catherine Henderson. In 4, Aberdeen and Caroline McIntosh, who will soon pass over to Orla Adams. In 5, our City of Sheffield, Maya Westlake opening up their set of 400 metres. In 6, Ellie Millington has just passed over to Emily Wood. Lane 7, our Exeter City, and just entering the pool for them is Alaya May Webb. In 8, City of Cardiff and Amber Owen on their second leg. And in 9, for Beckenham, doing the breaststroke is Hannah Louise Nelson. So a swift changeover being made by all 10 teams there, but a good start being made by Loughborough University in lane 2. And Grace Gilroy. A reminder as well that at the conclusion of the swim-offs this morning, there will also be the talk from Fred Furness, the Swim England National Talent Officer, regarding supporting and coaching the age group swimmer. It's open for parents of 13 to 16-year-old swimmers. It's up at the Skyline Suite. If you're unsure where that is, ask a member of staff knocking around Pons Forge and they will happily direct you to it. It will be happening straight after those swim-offs. So do make sure that you attend that. I highly recommend it. Fred, a very experienced coach indeed, and very good in his role as National Talent Officer as well. Coming towards the back end then of this second leg. Halfway point being reached by Loughborough University. Nothing changing at the front. Brianna Close on the butterfly now is the one who leads it for those in the purple caps. Inside of them, lane 4, Aberdeen, trying to put the pressure on themselves now with Kirsty Simpson on their third leg. And next to her is Isabel Grant. Of course, City of Sheffield earlier on this week got the British record for the 4x200 freestyle relay. What can they do with the medley here? Isabel Grant definitely does favour this butterfly leg, and she'll be looking to close down that gap separating her and Aberdeen, but both of them are still in pursuit of Loughborough. Also throwing into the mix Nova Centurion in lane 3 and Courtney Price. They're looking like strong competition as we go towards the back end of this third leg now. And in lane 6, do not rule out City of Oxford and Kate Mills. Have they got something up their sleeve for the freestyle in the final 100 metres? In Loughborough come towards the wall then. This changeover, the final changeover for them, being made between Brianna Close and now Emily Barclay, who enters the pool with Loughborough boasting a very nice cushion of 3 seconds. That is ahead of Aberdeen. In the pool for them is Alice Alcaraz. City of Sheffield still situated in 3rd position. Darcy Deakin now enters the pool with the black cap. Nova Centurion just in the periphery of that front 3 with Molly Wright now doing their freestyle. City of Oxford still trying to battle away in towards those front positions, and Amy Coombs. Remember, it's not about where you finish, it's all about the times, but you do not want a lot of teams finishing in front of you, because it doesn't bode well. Then there is still 1 heat to go. Loughborough well aware of that. 25 metres to go, and they're looking very strong indeed. Emily Barclay not letting up here. She's making sure her team get a faster time as possible. Look at the battle in the middle of the pool though between City of Sheffield and Darcy Deakin and Alice Alcaraz of Aberdeen. 2 very strong swimmers on the freestyle. Loughborough come in and get first. 4:13.48. Seconds gone down to the wire, but Aberdeen come out on top by 0.2 of a second ahead of City of Sheffield. Nova Centurion not far behind at all and pick up 4th position. But tremendous swimming from Loughborough University. All 4 swimmers there showing exactly how to do each set of 100 in each stroke. Aberdeen 2nd, City of Sheffield touching in for 3rd. Couple of announcements to bring you. One of them regarding lost property. It's a black tier suit and goggle bag with Swim Wales logo on them. Sorry, that's just black tier suit and goggles with Swim Wales logo on them. The owner can collect them from sports presentation up here in the stand opposite the main spectator gallery, or above the timing suite as well. Also a notice about flash photography. Please note flash photography during the races, after the races, at the start of the races, at any point during today. Thank you. Let's move on then to our final heat of the women's 17 years and over category. It's heat number 3. Full pool then for this 3rd and final heat. City Milton Keynes are in lane 0 with Grace Spong on their first leg in 1. Hatfield with Amber Hughes leading the charge for them. In 2 are City of Manchester A, Chloe Golding leading the way on the backstroke. Lane 3, Guildford City A, Alicia Wilson in the pool for them. In lane 4, City of Peterborough with Rachel Wellings. Phoebe Landareu of Newcastle is in 5. In 6 from Street is Bethany Newton. In lane 7, Daisy Platts leading the way for City of Leicester. In 8 is India Dodd of Aberdeen B. And in 9, Kate Dissington of the Venture Excel. Already so many teams separated just by this first 100 metres. Every stroke counts, every swimmer knows their role and they know how important it is. And leading the way after that first 100, the City of Manchester in lane 2. Molly Roodhouse in the pool for them at the moment, but down the centre, an early assault being made by Rebecca Burton in lane 4. And in 5, Shauna Johnson of Newcastle in the black cap. They're your front three at the moment. Joining them in 6, Chloe Edrich of Street, and just to the outside of her in 7, Courtney Smith of City of Leicester. And also don't take your eye off lane 3, and Amy Hodgson of Guildford City A. Quite a menacing central set of lanes at the moment between lanes 2 and 7, all of them in touching distance of each other, but still in front just about are City of Manchester, but City of Peterborough with a great lineup, it has to be said. Rachel Wellings, Rebecca Burton in the pool now, and Chloe Hannam and Molly Allen to come. Look very strong indeed, and they lead by around a nose out of City of Manchester. So don't take your eye off Guildford City, this is exactly why. Amy Hodgson at the back end of this breaststroke has really kicked her team into life, and we've got a front 4 here jostling in around 2 seconds of each other at the halfway mark. Very interesting stuff kicking off here indeed. City of Peterborough leading the way. Chloe Hannam now in the pool for them on the fly. As for City of Manchester, it's Rihanna Bennett's turn to pick up the baton for them. And in lane 5, Newcastle and Jane Brown are still keeping their hopes well and truly alive. Of course, these 4 teams down the centre of the pool, they may all qualify for the finals, but they do not know that yet. They know what sort of times they've got to beat, but that will not stop them going out there and making sure they are the fastest of the lot. It's very competitive indeed to make the places for the finals tonight. Of course, in this age category alone, there are around 24 teams in contention for 10 places. You have got to earn the right to be there, and the front 3 are doing exactly that at this moment in time. Still Rihanna Bennett of City of Manchester making sure the Northwest Club are knocking around up there with Peterborough in 4 and Newcastle in 5. Fantastic 100 from all 3 of those teams, solidifying their place at the top. 100 metres to go. Who is going to take this one? Molly Allen immediately wasting no time at all to kick off with the spray coming from her legs. In 5, Newcastle and Sarah Brown picking up from her namesake Jane on this final leg. As for Guildford, Molly Robinson's got a bit of work to do in order to keep up with City of Manchester and Hannah Heath to her right-hand side. They come towards the halfway point of this final leg, and still it's City of Peterborough as you were at the front. Molly Allen trying to extend that lead further and further. Those behind her are trying to make sure that that buffer evaporates. It is very much easier said than done. Look how tight it is between lanes 2, 3 and 5. Manchester, Guildford, Newcastle, all hammer and tong going towards the final 15 metres. But City of Peterborough look home and hose down the centre. Molly Allen will bring it home for them on the anchor. More or less a procession for her. Second is almightily close. Guildford get there ahead of Newcastle. Manchester just missed out on the top 3, but that is no fault of their own. It's testament to that comeback from Guildford and the strong performance from all 4 in the Newcastle team. City of Peterborough though, top the table as a whole, as you can see on the scoreboard. 4:18.42 the winning time. Guildford A second, Newcastle third, Manchester just outside, and even then Street were only around 0.41 seconds behind them. Fascinating stuff at the end of Heat 3. So we've seen 6 seats of the women. The men are itching to get in that pool now and show us what they can do. In a few moments' time, we'll have their 3 heats coming up for the men's 14 to 16 year category. Once again in the 4x100 medley relay event. We very much look forward to it. Don't go anywhere. It's coming up in a moment or two's time. Here we go then, this the men's 14 to 16 year old 4x100 metre medley relay heats. This is heat number 1.
Take your mark.
Here we go then with heat number 1. In lane 2, Sheffield Clwyd, Zachariah Speakman on the first leg for them. Lane 3, Leatherhead with Cameron Mackay opening their leg on the backstroke. Lane 4, Dorking and Hugh Morgan. Mark Edmondson represents Team Bath in lane 5. And in 6 from Ealing is Rowan Vazirani. Dorking maybe seeded the fastest in this heat, 4:12.48, but they're currently the one trailing at this moment in time. Team Bath are the one to beat at the quarter stage. Mark Edmondson with a strong first 100. He now passes the baton over to Dylan Hood onto the breaststroke. Up there as well in lane 3, Benjamin Simpson of Leatherhead. A decent start being made by Cameron Mackay on their first set of 100. In lane 2, Sheffield Clwyd and Rodri Williams trying to spring into life as well. They are currently level with Ealing and George Barnes. So a bit of work for Owen Knowles to do in this set of 100 metres. Bit of a distance already between him and the rest of the pool. Dylan Hood still the one with the advantage, but it's a very small advantage indeed. Cutting down the deficit at a good rate at the moment is Rodri Williams in lane 2 alongside Benjamin Simpson of Leatherhead. Sheffield Clwyd swimmer beginning to leave Leatherhead behind and trying to join in that front 4 battle is George Marshall of Ealing, who will soon pass over to Samuel Thornton. All 14's going at a steady pace here. It's a difficult task for Dylan Hood to pull any further in front, but he's managed to maintain the lead, and that was the most important thing about that swim. Isaac Grothier then in the pool for them now, and he will try and claw away from everybody else. Sheffield Clwyd, and this time Christian Ellis not wanting to go away, and the pool is beginning to break into 2 packs of 2. Trying to make sure that is not the case is Thomas Stansfield of Leatherhead, who wants to join the front 2, but as does Samuel Thornton of Ealing. Still struggling away at the back at George Robert Shaw and Dorking. They really need to pull something significant out the back here if they're to have any chance of getting a time fast enough to get in the finals tonight. It is looking like a very ominous situation for them. But look at this from Sheffield Clwyd. Great swim in the third set of 100 by Christian Ellis. He has closed the gap very well indeed between him and Team Bath, but just about Isaac Grothier and Bath are still in front. It's going to be frighteningly close towards the end of this 100 metres as we now go into the freestyle. Taking the baton for Bath is Alexander Sharman. And as for Sheffield Clwyd, it's Louis Corrigan. Great start, leap into the pool from Anton Akapian of Ealing in lane 6. Definitely meaning business indeed, and he's left behind Leatherhead's Thomas Shepherd quite convincingly here, and he's decided to join the front 2. It's a straight shootout at the top at the moment as the formation of that front 4 has changed significantly here. Team Bath may still lead the way, but they've got new company in the shape of Anton Akopian and Ealing. In we go then towards the final 50, and it's began to level itself out. It's a straight line of 4 here inside the last 30 metres. A great turnaround this from Ealing and Anton Akopian with a superb last 100. They're the ones leading the way. Team Bath fighting to stay alive at the front. Alexander Sharma may have to settle for second. That is because Thomas Shepherd of Leatherhead is coming on very strong indeed. Ealing get there first on 4:08.37. Leatherhead in second position, 2.02 seconds behind. And Team Bath thrown out of the top 2 and into third by some great freestyle swimming from Ealing and Leatherhead. Team Bath in third then, Sheffield Clwyd in 4. Not Dorking's day as they touch in 5th. Well, how about that from Ealing, who top heat number 1. Confirmation of that up on the scoreboard. Just a reminder about the lost property as well. It concerns black tier suits and goggles with the Swim Wales logo on both of them. So black tier suits and goggles with the Swim Wales logo on them. Do make sure, if that's yours, you come up here. We're at the top tier, above the timing suite. Come and join us, get your property back. Up next then, heat number 2. Much fuller pool this time for heat number 2. Full complement here. Lane 0, Camden Switch with Jackson Olin in 1, and Mount Kelly and Jacob Newman opening them up on the backstroke leg. 2, Wickham District. James McClellan leads their quartet out. In 3, City of Cambridge with Jonathan Adam doing leg number 1. In 4, Warren Abasay and James McDonald. Max Jelfs opening things up for Hatfield in lane 5. A 6, and Aaron Beckford of Derwent's side. Lane 7, Mohammed Worley and Plymouth Leander. In lane 8, Thomas Jackson, should I say, for City of Leeds. And in 9, City of Glasgow and Ryan Robertson. Steady start being made in 7 by Mohammed Worley of Plymouth Leander, and also Jonathan Adam of City of Cambridge as well. Both of them are featured very regularly when it comes to the backstroke this week here at Ponds Forge, and they're showing exactly what they can do already in the pool here. First change being made by all 10 teams. It goes in favour of Plymouth Leander in lane 7, who themselves have had a great week of relays so far here in the Steel City. Lewis Edwards Pratt doing their second leg on the breaststroke and looking to continue that rich vein of form for the Devon club. In lane 9, a City of Glasgow and Max Hagan. It's been a good start in the first 50 of the breaststroke for him, and he turns, managing to drag Glasgow from around 3rd or 4th into 1st. Plymouth pushed back into 2nd position then momentarily. In 3rd spot is Lewis Spart of Mount Kelly in lane 1. Also doing well next to him in lane 0, Alexander Borisov of Camden Swiss. 25 metres to go, and this is a very tight race indeed. We are coming up towards the halfway mark, so close to call in the front 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. City of Glasgow, though, the ones leading the way. Max Hagan will pass over to Mark Ford with a slim lead, but a lead nonetheless. Good 100 metres from Max Hagan. So, City of Glasgow, currently the team to beat. Lane 2, Wickham District, with Piers Bowden in the pool for them at the moment. What can he muster? He's got a lot of company either side of him. To his left are City of Cambridge and Matthew Tipman. To his right, Joseph Russell of Mount Kelly. All of them propelling their way forward with this butterfly. Also in lane 7, Plymouth Leander staying afloat. Reed Jones on the 3rd leg for them. But City of Glasgow, if anything, have made their lead even bigger. Mark Ford for City of Glasgow with a very good start in the opening 50. But look in lanes 2 and 3. Wickham District, City of Cambridge, Matthew Tipman of Cambridge alongside Piers Bowden of Vic Wickham are so close together at this moment in time. Here come Hatfield, they're ramping their way through the gears, and Charles Rayner beginning to come up for them. We are now about to go on to the final 100 metres with a freestyle. Hold on to something, ladies and gentlemen. Leading the way, Angus Nicol, City of Glasgow. Still they lead after what has been a very difficult 300 metres or so with the competition going off inside them. Just look at the splash kicking up off the legs of these swimmers as they make their way into the final 75 metres or so now. Currently in 2nd spot, in lane 3, Jake Moxon of City of Cambridge. Wickham District still staying afloat as well, with Joshua Williams and Plymouth Leander throwing themselves back into contention with Adam Davies. They're on for the turn for home. City of Cambridge are getting stronger and stronger. Look at Jake Moxon in the sky blue cap, level pegging with City of Glasgow and Angus Nicol. This one is going to go right down to the wire. Hatfield and Plymouth, nothing separating those two. Reese Housden in lane 5 and Adam Davis in lane 7. But going towards the wall, it will be City of Cambridge. 800ths of a second separating them and City of Glasgow. What an end to that second heat. Plymouth Leander in 3rd position, just 500ths of a second ahead of Hatfield. And if those front 4 with those sort of times end up in the final tonight, it would be no surprise at all. City of Cambridge topping things though, 403.17. So you can bring it, folks. 3rd heat coming up very soon. Let's go then. This is heat number 3. Well, these 10 have definitely got to make sure they up the game from their entry times, because if it goes to form, and all these teams get their entry times, then the only team that will qualify ahead of the 4 that we just saw topping Heat 2 will be City of Cardiff in lane 4. So a lot at stake going into this 3rd and final heat. Of course, when the younger categories in the 14-16-year-old, they do always seem to manage to get new PBs time and time again, but it is not a foregone conclusion. You've got to go out there and work for it, and that is exactly what all 10 of these swimmers are doing in the first 100 metres here. Let's have a quick run through on the second leg then as to who will be in the pool. In lane 0, Nova Centurion. Thomas White is about to jump in for them. In lane 1, Basildon and Phoenix and Samuel Bryan. In 2, Milfield and William Mitchell. In lane 3, Benjamin Waugh doing the fly for them. At breaststroke, should I say. In 4, City of Cardiff and Bradley Newman. 5, Guildford City and Charlie Trotman. Lane 6 is City of Salford. Ben McAvoy wearing the yellow cap for them. In lane 7, Jackson O'Rourke at Northampton. In 8, Arnold Martin of City of Oxford. And on the far side, our City of Salford B, also wearing the yellow and red caps, James Duncan on their second leg. Coming up towards the halfway point of this relay, and in lane 4, leading the way, our City of Cardiff. As we said, if it goes towards the form book, a lot of teams in this race, in the fastest heat yet, are going to miss out on the finals. There is so much riding on this, it's quite incredible. But City of Cardiff going about things very smoothly this moment in time. Bradley Newman not looking phased at all towards the back end of this breaststroke. Alongside him in lane 5, the Guildford City and Charlie Trotman. As we come up to the 200 metre mark, it'll be Cardiff, followed by Guildford into the wall. How about third? We're going to have to look at the split times for that. I think it's going to be Milfield, indeed is. So Milfield are in third position. In the pool for them in lane 2, Sean Patrick McGowan on the butterfly leg. He's got a lot of company though up alongside him. Even to his right, breathing down his neck, is Mason Honeysetter, Basildon and Phoenix. In lane 6, City of Salford and William Camden. And to their left, Northampton and Edward Mildred. He's been a very prominent figure so far in the Northampton setup this week. What can he muster in the pool this time around? Lane 4 though is where we look for our leaders. Benjamin Chuyin of City of Cardiff. Still next to him are Guildford and Alexander Armstrong. We've seen him swim already on the outside lanes today in this event. In the breaststroke, Alexander Armstrong, and he's stalled to a success in lane 0 in the heats, and he's going along very well here as well. And Benjamin Chuyin has definitely got a race on his hands. He's trying to get away as fast as possible, the City of Cardiff swimmer. Very much easier said than done. In we go then to the final 100 metres. Times absolutely massive here. They cannot rest on their laurels, any of these swimmers, as they go into this freestyle leg. Leading out Cardiff, Ewan Davis in lane 4. And in 5, Noah Dose of Guildford City. They are more or less level at the front now. Look at this, lane 2, the assault is on for Milford. And Hugh Williams, still Basildon, will not go away. James Cooper being the latest nuisance for them. And in 6 is City of Salford and Scott Proven. But the turn being made simultaneously down the centre between City of Cardiff and Guildford City. More or less tied at the hip as they come into the final 30 metres now. Remember, times are crucial, not just places in this third heat. Owen Davis of City of Cardiff in lane 4 alongside Lower Dose of Guildford City, going right down to the wire here, and they come towards the final few metres, pushing each other all the way. The times have got to be good, they certainly are. City of Cardiff on top by 0.21 seconds. Guildford in second and Milfield get third. Well, I think a lot of those teams may have managed to get in the finals tonight. Of course, we'll have to wait for confirmation of that. But what a thrilling end to 3 superb heats there in that relay. DQ to bring you in lane 8, but confirmation of the rest of the scores up on the screen for you now. City of Cardiff improving as they had to on their entry time, as did Guildford and Milfield and Basildon and Phoenix as well. Tremendous swimming from those teams once again. So a reminder, we will soon be passing over to their elders and the men's 17 years and over 4x100 medley event. After that will be our 3 swim-offs, and there will be the men's 200 free, the women's 100 fly, and the men's 50 fly as well. So lots of entertainment for you to go into the lunch break with in the next half an hour or so here at Ponds Forge. on the 6th and final day. Up next then, it's the men's 17 years and over 4x1 medley relay. Heat number 1 up first.
Your mark.
Lane 0 are Guildford City A, with Joseph Clark currently in the pool for them. In 1, Jonathan Bennett doing the backstroke for Leicester Sharks. In 2, City of Manchester B with Matthew Evans opening up on their first 100. Lane 3 is City of Oxford and Lewis Gilchrist. Of course, City of Oxford in the 14-16-year-old event, they're being disqualified. They'll have to make sure they don't do that sort of thing again. In 4, Northampton and Edel Alphika. In 5, Plymouth Leander D. Well, I said they had a good relay team with some of the success they've had this week. They're fielding 4 teams in this event. In 6, City of Peterborough, Jamie Scholes just passing over there to Thomas Wiggins. In 7, it was Connor Fallon opening things up for them. Luke Spain now in the pool. And in lane 8, Wickham District, George Simmons picking up the baton from Sam Phippen. City of Peterborough in front then at this early stage in lane 6 with Thomas Wiggins. Entry time 4:0.59, which is pretty similar to more or less all 9 of the teams taking part in this heat. And once again, it is a case of any of the teams in all 3 of the heats being well capable of making it into the final. That is what's so gripping about these relays. Anyone can get there, and certainly showing that. Guildford City on the near side. Lane 0, one of the outsiders coming into this heat, you'd have to say, looking at paper. But Sergio Chete is doing a very good job indeed, and he'll pass over to Risen Stein at the halfway point with them level pegging with City of Oxford at the front. Christopher Motha picking up the baton now for Oxford in lane 3. They currently lead the way by a very slim margin indeed. City of Peterborough a bit further behind than they were around 100 metres ago. Liam Knight's going to have to resurrect their lead for them. The rest of the pool looking very tight indeed, it has to be said. Slightly tailgating at the moment at Northampton and Daniel Savage. They were the quickest qualifiers, 4:0.24. The exact same time, it has to be said, as Plymouth Leander D in lane number 5. But there's quite a bit of a buffer separating those 2 in the pool at this moment in time. Guildford City doing tremendously well on the near side. Rian Stein with one of the best swims that he could have wished for going into this event. He's doing really well to keep up near the front, but we said City of Peterborough needed to improve. Liam Knight has done exactly that. This is strong from Peterborough. Harry Whiteman will go in for the final 100, and as it stands, he is the man with the pressure on his shoulders to bring home this first heat. In he goes, in lane number 6. Also in 2 and 3, back comes City of Manchester and Jared Armstrong on their final leg. Christopher Wood of City of Oxford will try and hold him off, but he's struggling so far. And Guildford City trying to keep afloat with Henry Offin on the near side. They made such a good start in the first 300 metres. Can they keep it up going into the final freestyle leg? It's going to be very difficult indeed. City of Peterborough looking very sharp through the pool at the moment. Harry Whiteman continuing where Liam Knight left off, but look in lane 2, and City of Manchester B, Jared Armstrong scurrying along very well indeed, those arms clawing through the water. Guildford City back in contention again. Henry Hopkins picked things up since getting to the halfway point in this leg, and they're looking very good indeed in lane 0, Guildford City. It's going to be so close going in towards the wall between them, Manchester, and also Peterborough. Oh, Guildford get there. What a last 100 that was from Henry Offin. 3:56 on the dot. City of Peterborough are succumbed to second position, and City of Manchester B get the 3rd fastest time. DQ to bring you courtesy of lane 8. but confirm results of the rest of the teams up on the scoreboard for you now. Lots of big improvements on the entry times from a vast majority of them teams there. Guildford City epitomising that, 6.5 seconds almost taken off their entry time. Big well done to them and all the other teams taking part in that first heat. 2 more to come. So we still have 5 events, 5 races, should I say, to come. 2 scheduled, heat 2 and 3 on this men's 17 years and over 4x100 medley event. And then 3 swim-offs. Matter as well about lost property. If you are, I'm guessing, from Swim Wales and you're missing a black tier suit and goggles with Swim Wales logos on them, please do come to the sports presentation area at the back of the stand up above the timing suite and we'll give them back to you. Let's go back to the pool for now though, heat number 2. Ten teams in this one, jostling for spots in tonight's final then. Lane 0 from Aberdeen, Alistair Miley on their first leg. In lane 1, Loughborough University with Samuel Irvin in the pool. And 2, currently wearing that bright green cap of Exeter City, is Liam White. 3 from Ealing, Gerald Murphy. Venture Exceller in 4, Ryan Reader leading the way for them. In 5 from Wycombe District A is James Eddy. In 6, the second of the 4 Plymouth Leander teams, Harry Middleton, opening up their set of 400. Hatfield have William Kersey in the pool in lane 7. Ruben Decker in the pool for City of Cambridge in 8. And in 9 from Preston, Cameron Jones coming towards the back end of his opening 100 metres. At the quarter mark then, who is leading the way? Well, the answer is Ealing and John Britton in the pool at the moment in lane 3. Robert Lancaster of Loughborough University knocking up those sort of places as well. And in lane 5, Wycombe A and James McFadden picking up from where James Eddy left off. Exeter City trying to get in the argument as well. They currently have Levin Veal in the pool, and in lane 4 down the centre, Chris Steeples dragging Daventio Excel into contention towards the front. It's a very interesting debate beginning to originate at the front here. Loughborough are still leading it very marginally indeed. Robert Lancaster currently level pegging with John Britton of Ealing. Ealing had around a second lead going into the first quarter of this heat. That's going to change now. I can't see how there's going to be any difference between them at all. Good swimming as well from Chris Steeple, Daventio Excel. They were lagging behind in the first 100 and brought themselves right into 3rd position now though. The front 4 are looking very menacing indeed as we surpass the halfway point. Just at the periphery of that front quartet in lane 2 are Exeter City and Dominic Wooldridge. He is trying to make sure that he can claw his team back into contention for getting one of the fastest times in this heat. Once again, these swimmers, especially in heat 2, have no idea what is needed in order to get to the finals. They can only go off on what was in heat number 1. They are completely unaware always around the corner in heat number 3. In lane 1, James Brown of Loughborough University still doing all the hard work at the front. Just inside of him is Christian Rotondu of Ealing. Those 2, hammer and tong at the front. Daventio Excel still trying to join in Jamie Ingram with Wycombe District not too far away as well. James Baxter in the pool for them. 100 metres to go now. The final changes being made by that leading 4. Spearheaded currently on the splits by Ealing. Joseph Sheehan in the pool. The pressure is on him to battle away with Loughborough at the front. Alexander Bowen, though, a very tricky customer, will push this one all the way, that is for sure. Davencio Excel in lane 4 and Carl Morgan level pegging with Yuzuki Ligard of Wickham District. They will about to turn for home now. Exeter have really dropped off that front 4. It's all about time for them and making sure they can lead the peloton home. We look back towards the front. Loughborough University and Alexander Bowen starting and continuing as he means to go on to the final 20 metres. Inside of him are still Ealing and Joseph Sheehan. That lead has slipped out of his fingers. Look at this back 25 from Yuzuki Ligard of Wickham in lane 5. He's trying to join in the front 2. It may be a bit too late though. Coming into the wall, Ealing get there. 4:47.83. Oh, it's 100th of a second separating them and Loughborough. Really close indeed. Tremendous swing from both those teams. Wickham District A touching 3rd position, just ahead of Davencio Excel. Ealing and Loughborough, pendulum swinging in both directions throughout those 400 metres. Eventually it swings just about in Ealing's favour when it matters. Those two will be waiting with great anticipation to see what times can be recorded in the next heat. Once again, it is a case of, if the teams in the next heat swim the exact same as their entry times, then Ealing and Loughborough and Wickham and Davencio will be in the final. But of course, they'll all be looking to go a lot quicker in the heat coming up. And it is heat number 3 next. Well, the people that are exiting Ponds Forge before the conclusion of this final, I hope you've got a very good excuse, because this is going to be one hell of a race, especially if the previous 2 heats are anything to go by. 10 teams involved, a few of them A and B teams as well. As we look into the pool now, lane 0, Millfield B. Henry Chesterman passing over now to Joshua Lawson. In 1, Millfield A, Zach Aitchison in the pool on their second leg. In lane 2, City of Glasgow with Andrew McFadzean. In 3, Plymouth Leander B and Marcus Gardner. Next to them, in lane 4, there are the 18 from Plymouth, Adam Chillingworth on their second leg. Doing the breaststroke in lane 6, Luke Cowdell for City of Sheffield. In 7, Warrington Warriors and Hugh Takamoto. Ross Neely of West Lothian are in 8. And in 9, Andrew Page of Mount Kelly. So that's your lineup. And you can currently see your front 3 or 4. In lane 1, Millfield doing very well with Zach Aitchison in the pool at the moment. Inside of him, down the spine of the pool, in lane 4, is Adam Chillingworth of Plymouth Leander A. Alongside him, Robert Cowley of City of Manchester and also Luke Cowdell of City of Sheffield. Just slightly on the periphery of the front 3 at the moment, but it's very close indeed. And of course, we've seen how quickly things can change. Can the rest of the pool manage to stay in touching distance to give themselves a chance of being at the front in this heat? They don't want to get left too far behind. A reminder as well, only Plymouth Leander A, if they swim their entry times, will get into the final based on the times we've already seen. They've all got to go that little bit quicker than they ever have done before, and they certainly mean business. Plymouth, though, currently the pace setters. Eduardo Valsecchi in the pool for them in lane 4. Second spot, Millfield, Max McCusker, and 5 and 6 level pegging are Thomas Payne of City of Manchester and Cameron Brooks-Clark of City of Sheffield, respectively. The front 4 still as you were. Just behind them are Plymouth Leander B, and also in lane 7 are Warrington Warriors and Matthew Donville. They are getting quicker on this butterfly leg, that is for sure. It's squeezing up very nicely towards the front, but As soon as the back begin to push, the front gets further out in front as well. Eduardo Valsecchi, very strong swimming from him as he passes now over to Thomas Fannin on their final 100 metres for Plymouth Leander. So far, the race plan has worked to perfection. Millfield also executing their plan very well as well, with Louis Barker now in the pole for them, trying to bring it home. And in lane 5, City of Manchester and Nathan Bennett have been knocking around the front 2 positions all the way through. Can they finally propel themselves into that sort of spot? In lane 6, also trying to get themselves up in top 3 territory at least, is Kean Senior and City of Sheffield. They still have Warrington Warriors for company on their outside in lane 7, and James Ross. The turn for home well and truly on. Plymouth Leander B also battling away at the front with Matthew Williams on their anchor leg. 25 metres to go for them, but we look towards the front. It's the A-team of Plymouth Leander and Thomas Fannin showing the rest of the pool and the whole event as well so far exactly how it has done. They will come in first, Millfield or Manchester for second. It will be Millfield, then Manchester, and then Sheffield. So that completes almost the third heat. Last few teams coming in now. Plymouth Leander A topping things on 3:47.4. Millfield A in second. City of Manchester A in third. So the 8 teams are your fastest trio in that one. Showing exactly why they are the best 4 swimmers in each stroke for each of their respective teams. So that concludes the schedule events for this morning's session, but we do still have 3 swim-offs on the way. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Still a lot of matters to be confirmed in the next few moments or so. A reminder as well, after the swim-offs, it will be the supporting and coaching the age group swimmer presentation taking place in the Skyline Suite. Again, if you're unsure as to where that is, do talk to a member of staff. It is upstairs as you walk out of the doors here in this swimming arena. Fred Furness will be doing the talk. He's a National Talent Officer at Swim England, and parents of 13 to 16-year-old swimmers are invited to it. So that's in the Skyline Suite. Do make sure you go along at the end of these next 3 swim-offs. Time for the first of the 3 swim-offs now, though. It's the men's 200-metre freestyle. This for a place in the 15-year age group final, and it's the swim-off. So this event regarding the 15-year age category of the men's 200 free. It's for a place on the reserves list for tonight's final. If anyone under 10 fall ill over dinner, then one of these 2 will be jumping in their place. But which one of them will it be? Rory Dixon going in lane 4 of North Ayrshire, and Eugene Brooks-Clark of City of Sheffield going in lane 5. Earlier on today, they both got 2:0.69 in the heats. Rory Dixon getting that in heat 4. Eugene Brooks-Clark getting the exact same later on in heat number 6. On paper, though, Eugene Brooks-Clark in lane 5 is the quicker out of the 2 with his entry time of 1:58.84. Over 2.3 seconds quicker than that of Rory Dixon. But the North Ayrshire swimmer certainly managed to do a very good job earlier today. That bit of buffer that we were talking about, though, on paper, beginning to originate now as we surpass the halfway stage. Eugene Brooks-Clark in his home pool here in City of Sheffield is going along very nicely indeed, but Rory Dixon is not out of contention yet. It's been a very long, gruelling morning. It's been a very long, gruelling week as well for these swimmers. Can they produce one last burst in the final 50 here before the lunch break, before they can finish and hopefully for one of them say that they'll be the reserves list for tonight's final. Rory Dixon giving it all he can, beginning to close the gap between him and Eugene Brooks-Clark. It's going to make an interesting end this with 25 minutes to go. The Sheffield swimmer is still the one leading the way by around half a length, but Rory Dixon putting the foot on the gas here, beginning to narrow the lead. Will he run out of pull as he comes in towards the wall? Eugene Brooks-Clark has the advantage and will get there first as well, 1:59.46. Rory Dixon may have finished second, but it's a second straight improvement today for him, 2:0.22. But Eugene Brooks-Clark will be on the reserve list for that 15-year age group final. Time for our second swim-off then. It concerns the women's 100-metre butterfly event in the 17-18 years category. Who will be the second reserve in that final? We're going to find out in the swim-off. Here we go, 100-metre butterfly for a spot in that second reserve place in the 17-18 years group final. Both of these getting times earlier on in the herbs. Sorry, this is for the first reserve place, we've just been told. It's got a whole lot more exciting. This 1:05.01 were the times for them earlier on this morning as they come towards the halfway point. Not much separating them here either. Ruth McEwen in lane 4 of Barrow, the one leading the way. Spencer Williams in lane 5 of Brompton is looking decent as well. But they both come in towards the final 30 metres now. Leading the way, Ruth McEwen of Barrow, and she is looking strong. Spencer Williams did get the faster entry time, but at the moment, the form book has been completely flipped around here by Ruth McEwen. She comes in towards the final throws of this one. Spencer Williams with a late flurry, but it won't be enough. The Barrow swimmer will be the reserve for the 17-18 year final tonight. 1:04.19 the winning time in that swim-off. So there's a chance we will see Ruth McEwen again. Spencer Williams, though, just missing out, 1:04.66 for the Brompton swimmer. Final race of the morning session then. This is the men's 50-metre butterfly swim-off. It concerns the 13-14 year group final. Who's going to get there? Let's find out in the swim-off. Here we go then, splash and dash, but separating these two from a potential place in the 13-14 years final. No reserves involved in this one. This is for a place in that top 10 in the men's 50-fly final later on tonight. David Gillespie in 4 from Corby, Douglas Kelly in 5 from Milngavie, separated by 0.02 seconds on entry time. Nothing separated them earlier though. Oh, and it was close again. David Gillespie of Corby gets there in lane 4. 0.08 seconds separating the two of them. Both of them improving on their entry times. In fact, both of them improving on their heat times as well. But David Gillespie just has the edge in the end, the Corby swimmer, ahead of Douglas Kelly. So that concludes the morning session then. A reminder, of course, Fred Furniss will be in the Skyline Suite for those parents of a 13 to 16-year-old swimmer. Again, I highly recommend it. Do make sure you go along to that. For now, though, we thank our swimmers and coaches as ever. We thank our spectators for sticking with us. And we thank you for watching on the live stream as well. Make sure you do join us for the 4:30 finals, where we'll do it all over again one final time on this final day of action at the British Swimming Summer Championships 2017. One last set of people to thank though, and they are our officials, who are now leave the poolside.